looking a little better. Hockey's coming back. All that stuff.
Hockey's coming back.
24 teams.
Are the Leafs a part of that 24 team?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they made it. They made the cut.
Of course.
They squeaked
they
in there.
Be in the top 16, but they're not.
They squeaked in there at 24?
No way. They're like 16.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're going to play Columbus in the best of 5. And then you win that, and you go to the round of 16. So if they win the cup, it'll be the hardest cup in the history of Stanley Cups.
I guess because there's an extra
3 wins required.
Yeah,
for
extra
some teams.
3, potentially 5 games on the schedule.
And then for the other teams, the top 4 teams like Boston, Tampa, they play each other in a round robin to determine seeding. So that'll be interesting. So every team at least has played games leading up to the. So it's not uneven and shit, you know.
When did the NHL adopt? Were they always 7 games? Did they always have a 7-game playoff series?
Yeah, I don't think they were ever. I know NBA used to have best.
Yeah,
of 5
they were
for the
5
first
games
round.
until 98 or 99 or 96 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and MLB still best of 5 in the first round.
Well, they added the whole they
added wild card.
They added the wild card. Yeah, even just within our conscious.
And they
lifetime.
still only have like fucking 10 teams make the playoffs.
They added a wild card.
And some people think that's too much. They play 160 games. Too bad.
Imagine that's so funny. There's 32 teams, 181 games. Oh no, 161 games.
Yeah.
And people are pissed they added 2 more teams to the
playoff. And it's a 1 game.
And it's
out.
a 1 game. It's not even like we added a series that may take 3 or 4 days. No, we just added one game.
Yeah, you're not even guaranteed a single home playoff game if you make it.
No. I'm sure, yeah. It's weird. But that's great. No, that's
Yeah, sports, we're going to get it. The Stanley Cup. But yeah, it's always been, that's why they call it the hardest trophy to win in all of sports.
Because why?
Just because you need the most wins and it's the most grueling. Football playoffs, some teams only have to win 3 games. It's over. 1 game a week.
Yeah, I guess. Well, now, yeah, because I guess the NHL and NBA, their playoff format is now, I guess, and has been the exact same. It is that 7 games.
Yeah.
Finals. Or potentially maximum 28 games, minimum you play 16.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was a year where like in 2001 the Lakers went 16-1 in their playoff run.
Yeah, no one's ever gone the full playoff
I don't think
sweep.
anyone's ever swept all 4 rounds.
Yeah, I think and Golden State came close until they faced Cleveland in the finals. I think they had only lost like 1 game or something.
Yeah, maybe in that 2016 season, maybe.
Yeah, when they went 73-9, best season ever.
Yeah, 73-9. But don't mean a thing if it ain't got that ring.
Exactly.
We all remember where we were on Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals. We all remember the
big block from LeBron.
What started what might have been the best sequence in like sports history. The block, the Kyrie Irving 3, and then the Kevin Love playing very close, playing great defense on the perimeter on Steph Curry, possibly the best perimeter shooter. I mean, certainly the best perimeter shooter we've seen in decades. It was those 3 elements led to the
greatest comeback in finals history.
The greatest comeback in NBA finals history and maybe sports. I don't know. You'd have to.
Yeah,
I'm sure
that's definitely the only 3-1 down 3-1 comeback in finals history. In the
yes,
NBA.
nobody's ever done it. I'm sure.
I think there's only been like less than a dozen 3-1 comebacks period in the NBA. Doesn't happen as much as hockey.
Yeah, and especially like to make it to the finals in what would have been the best team.
Yeah. Hasn't no one ever completed the reverse sweep in the NBA?
Wait, what's the reverse sweep?
Being down 3-0 and then coming back, winning all 4.
Oh, that's a good question.
I think I've heard that it's never happened in the NBA.
Yeah, because that's such a rare circumstance too, right? To be down.
I mean, it happens every year, but once they're down, they're usually down and out.
I feel as though there was a year, I want to say it's like 2007. The Dallas Mavericks had this insane regular season record, 67-15. Dirk Nowitzki, MVP. Everyone's saying this is their year. This is their year, and they may have been like swept in the first round by an 8th seed Golden State. And I think that's that was also its own thing. Like the only time that the 8th seed has swept the 1 seed in the first round, which is so rare. And I think it's only been one time that the 8th seed has even made it to the NBA Finals. The Knicks in '99, I think. Man, remember that year when the LA Kings, like the first of their Stanley Cups years, like they were the 8th seed also. Yeah, and I remember they just pushed in that second half of the season. Such a great underdog story. Gotta love an underdog story.
Yeah, no, they were another team. They only lost like 2 games in the first 3 rounds or something. It's crazy.
Isn't that nuts? And
en route.
And we're talking about so much sports from the past, and it's so great that soon we'll be talking about sports in the future.
Yes, and the present.
And the present of sports. The future of sports, of course, Toronto Raptors, future back-to-back NBA NBA champions, as we all know.
Speaking of 3-peats, The Last Dance, we're going for 7. 7.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah, we Raptors are going to solidify our first ever 3-peat.
And we're not going to have a break in the middle. We're just going to go 7 straight.
Yeah, we're not going to take a break on that 3-peat. No, there's no.
We're not going to retire. Fucking in between runs.
Yeah, we're not gonna get forced out of the league because of our gambling debts. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Your
father was killed by a hitman.
I said it.
And I concur. I love it.
Because I think out of all the sports, there are so many NBA. I don't want to use the word conspiracy. That might be a bit much. But there is things that have happened over the course of the existence in which may lead some to believe that things were pre-planned. I'm not going to say it's a conspiracy. I'm going to say there's a few instances that some real nerds could pull out.
Yeah, isn't there outright officials cheating, fixing games?
There was one. There was. I forget his name too. Shit, just some old white guy. Yeah, where
he doesn't deserve to be remembered. That's
somewhere in the mid to late 2000s. I remember they caught him.
Yeah. Crooked shyster.
Rigging games. I don't really remember what like the end of that was. Like where, like how, what games he was fixing for who or.
Yeah, I remember FIFA had a big scandal with that too.
Yes.
A few years ago. But
of course.
What sport? We love scandal. What sport?
I love scandal. I love anytime something.
Everyone was waiting for the Dennis Rodman segments on those Last Dance.
Of course, and it's hardly a scandal either.
No, not really. Guy just likes to have fun.
And
likes to hang out with Carmen Electra, get fucked up, go to WCW Nitro on a practice day, game day, whatever it was.
Anyway, and his little trip to Vegas, whatever. But and of course, just the way it was, just so sensationalized, acting as if players these days aren't partying all night and dating celebrities. Like, they're almost like acting like it doesn't happen. Maybe Dennis Rodman. Yeah, Dennis Rodman probably was the first, I bet. Although Wilt Chamberlain, like, famously claims to have slept with, like, 10,000 women. So I'm sure he went to a few parties himself.
And Magic Johnson was the one to get AIDS? What's the...
I know. The best porn name of all time, and he chose to play basketball.
But he beat it.
No, I think he's HIV positive. I think never quite got to the AIDS.
Maybe not AIDS. Okay.
I think that was what's he's like stalled. For some reason, it hasn't kind of upscaled itself.
Attaboy, Magic.
Way to go, Magic. Way to go. You beat AIDS. HIV. Yeah. Never mind. I take that back.
Well.
I take that back. Oh God.
That's okay.
I can't wait.
All right.
Can't wait, Mike. We got a show to do though. We've got a show. And I think there's no better way than to just use that cold open.
Yeah.
Because we're not even last year we were all up on Baltuck around this time, of course. This time last year, the Raptors were nestled into the NBA Finals, of course. And it was fantastic news, and Baltuck and Pucktuck was going off the chains.
Yeah. Yeah, the Leafs were there, had a disappointing loss, but we were in the race.
The Leafs were also there. That's true. We're not going to discredit the other Toronto teams.
No, I mean, the Blue Jays, they weren't doing shit except for rebuilding.
I think the baseball around this time of year, you would have been 2 months in.
Yeah, and their season was effectively over
I bet that half the league was, effectively out of all playoff contention, because 2 months into a game series, like a season of baseball, you can be 12-52.
Yeah, you're like, fuck, I got to win 40 games straight to even be 500.
Which is, we have to win 40 games straight, and then we'll be a playoff contender, maybe. Yeah. The folks don't want to hear any more sports talk, although we will as soon as the summer goes on. No, because this isn't a sports podcast. This is a sports entertainment podcast. This is a wrestling podcast. The Shoot Brothers Wrestling Podcast. This is the only podcast you can find online, hosted by myself, Cameron Osborne, and my co-host, Mike the Shoot Shepherd.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the sound. That's the sound, folks. We got a great, action-packed show for you today.
Jam-packed. Jelly-packed.
We got all the major shows are on the card. Of course, we had our Double or Nothing 2020 live from this our new home. This the Jacksonville Jaguars practice facility.
Yeah, what's it called? Like Daly's Place or something?
Yeah, they call it something.
The logo was there the whole show.
The logo's there the entire time, but I'm not paying attention to the logo. There's a lot of meat in this.
Way too much.
There's a lot of beef in this ring. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of things that we can pay attention to. But before we talk about that Double or Nothing pay-per-view, let's kick off the show the way we always do with the tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. It's the tweet of the week. Yeah, with all these people having time to do stuff at home, everyone's just chilling at home. Everyone's putting out some entertaining enough internet content. Have you yourself, Mike, seen anything that just kind of wrestlers are doing in their spare time? Maybe.
I mean, nothing. I mean, a lot of them are still pretty busy, so they're wrestling a lot.
Of course, a lot of them are wrestling.
I see like Asuka and stuff. I follow her on her fun channel. She's always playing
that
games
channel
and making cupcakes and stuff.
Kind of like funny. Yeah, I've never watched a full video, but Asuka's YouTube channel.
I just see clips, from her Instagram, but she looks like she's a fun
Exactly.
person.
It's like her just like making breakfast, and you're like, boom. Yeah. Or there was one.
She's got like a cute little apron on or something.
Yes,
or like a bunny character.
Or another great one that's happening out there right now is Roderick Strong and his wife Marina Shafir have this massive Jenga set, and they're just that's the video series. It's like, hey, what's up? We're gonna play another game of Jenga, and it's like huge. One of the ones where you're stacking it and it's getting taller than you are.
Like you see at bars or
exactly
like
it's actual like little 2x4s. So of course all these professional wrestling superstars are doing their own thing in this pandemic time. But one WWE superstar is living a life better than all of us, because our brand new and 6-time tweet of the week champion, the Randman Randy Orton, posted to all of his socials the other week a photo of him inside of a G5 plane, and the caption just reads, "Fucked around and bought a plane." That's right, the Randman Airlines has taken off.
So he has fuck around plane money.
He has fuck around plane money. That's all that has to be said. One of the top competitors in the company and the business for 20 years now, and you can't vape on planes. We know this. There's probably certain laws associated with commercial airlines that doesn't let you vape. But
yeah, that's true.
If Randy Orton was just like, oh, okay, I know a quick workaround. I'm just gonna buy my own plane.
I buy the plane,
and I can vape on it all I want.
It's like when Justin Bieber charters out a plane so he can start smoking weed and shit.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, that's a little. Let's complain whenever they fly Justin and his posse around and their plane stinks like weed after.
Little celebrity gossip. Oh my god! But Randy Orton now officially the most reigning tweet of the week champion with 6 tweets of the week.
He's the man. He's the Rand man, and yeah, he's our champ.
He's gonna be our champ forever. Of course, he's had the match coming up at Backlash, which Mike, I don't know if you heard, it's the best.
Not just a match.
This isn't just a match. No, this is the greatest wrestling match ever. We'll get to that though.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
But first, let's kick off the show with the with AEW's Double or Nothing Part 2.
Part 2, baby. It was that was the official debut of AEW last year, right? Double or Nothing.
Was it?
Because All In was kind of just I don't know. I think I remember Double or Nothing being there like
that was the launch. Well, great, yeah. Well, it certainly was the big one. That had the Escalada de la Muerte. It had
no, that was
All Out.
That was All Out.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it
had the best match, one of the best matches ever of Cody.
It definitely had that Cody Dustin match, of course, and maybe it just had an
Omega versus Jericho. I think was there.
Maybe it just had another Young Bucks.
There was just a lot of great. Maybe they didn't have the titles yet.
Yeah, no titles yet. Everything was just on the line for just for pride. But this week there's a lot more to contend for. Of course, on our pre-show, we had a number one contenders match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship between Private Party and Best Friends.
Did you watch it?
I did not, but I knew it existed. I knew it existed.
But you knew about it.
I knew it existed.
There was some. Yeah, it was fine. You know, Private Party was a little sloppy. We haven't seen him in a while, so I'll forgive him. But Best Friends, they've been on a roll, so they earned it. They deserve it. They get the win here. Look strong. So big title shot coming up for the Best Friends.
Big title shot coming up for the Best Friends. You know, this tag division is, when our leaders are a not real tag team, and there are so
and one of them's been gone for 2
and there are
months.
so many, tag wrestling has always been what we've said AEW one of their strong points is. So it's great to see other teams getting an opportunity.
Yeah, and Best Friends. Who doesn't like them?
Who doesn't like them?
But let's go on to the main show, baby, because we're here in Jacksonville. We got the set decked out. We got the gambling, the poker chips, tables, slot machine on the video screen.
Yeah, a little craps board, a little novelty craps board over there.
The decks of cards with the customized ace with Moxley and
Brody Lee on it. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so nice little something there, and we kick right into it with the casino ladder match, where starts off with 2 men in the ring, and we get an interesting matchup of Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky. So the normal allies in SCU, but they both want that poker chip. So they just go at it. 2 minutes between each entrance, and then Kip Sabian's the next guy out, and he's got Penelope Ford with him, and Jimmy Havoc there, and he just starts fucking people around. He was like the unofficial 10th man in this match.
Yeah, he shows up wearing this all white getup. We haven't seen
like a suit,
like something like an outfit we've never seen Jimmy Havoc wear before, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, he's normally just always
in his black thing, and his death metal look, and now he's got a little red tie. Also, have I missed? Are we called Super Bad Kip Sabian? Is this new? Did I miss? Did I miss this before?
I think I've heard it. There's a lot of there's so many bad. Like there's Super Bad. There's the Bad Boy. There's like another bad something.
Everyone's just bad. No one's ever super.
Everyone's just bad on this show. But speaking of bad, Darby Allin's the next entrant, and he just wastes no time fucking shit up. He grabs a ladder, sets it up horizontally across the barricade, tosses a skateboard at Kazarian's face, and then he places him on that ladder. Climbs up another ladder, and then he just does a huge fucking drop in with his skateboard, crashes through the ladder. He's fucking dying, grabbing his leg.
You thought he was dead.
I thought he might have been hurt. You thought he was dead.
Now, Mike, this was also fun because you and I don't often. Sometimes, if we're watching pay-per-views at different times, we won't often.
We don't want to spoil the show.
Exactly,
for each
and we
other.
don't want to spoil we don't want to spoil the podcast for
the show too,
each other or the listeners either, right?
Both
so
shows.
You and I were chatting a bit during this show though, where you thought Darby Allin was dead.
Because I've never heard him scream like that. Normally he's pretty, he can take a lot of pain. He sells it, but here he was like, ah!
Yeah, he had you convinced.
He had me. So good selling.
Done.
I'll give it to him.
Selling.
I'll give it to him. So that was a huge bump. He's out for a long time. The next entrance is Orange Cassidy. And on his way to the ring, he goes over to the commentary table because he needs to ask them the rules of the match. And then JR's like, you don't even know the damn rules.
Damn rules.
So he's strolling down to the ring. There's only like 30 seconds left by the time he gets there. And then he just starts reaching up for the chip, standing on his feet.
So he does this one spot at one of these points where he kind of has the ring to himself, and instead of setting the ladder up on its feet to climb it, he lies it down flat on the ground, stands on it, and
gets those extra 3 inches. And he tries
and
again.
reaches up, and he has that look on his face of like, why can't I reach it?
And he's like,
which just had me fucking laughing, man. This guy is so funny.
He's amazing.
He's so fun.
So then he starts to lazily just pick up the ladder, like not even trying to open it, just like standing it up. It falls over. Then we get our next entrant. Boom, boom, Colt Cabana. He comes running out. He gets a few moves. Everyone's brawling. And then Joey Janela's the next entrance, who replaced Ray Phoenix after that crazy bump he took.
Yes, I heard he has it was a nagging injury that just didn't heal in time. I'm sure the big old bump he took the other day didn't help anything, though.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything long term. They're just like, all right, just take a break. You weren't going to win the match anyway, so we'll save you a couple dives here.
Mm-hmm.
So Cabana's in, Janela's in. At one point, Cabana had it looked like he got his fingers pinched in the ladder when it was kicked in him. That looked painful.
Oh, really? Eek.
Yeah, just like.
I didn't see that.
But then entrance number 8, Luchasaurus comes down. He's running wild, and then Darby Allin comes back to life. So that was nice to see. And then we get the final mystery 9th entrant, which turns out to be Brian Cage, who has Taz as his manager as well. And Cage, big bad Cage. He comes down. He just starts whooping some ass. He's kicking everyone. He goes to climb up the ladder. So Orange Cassidy jumps on his back. He's still climbing up. So then the rest of the group, they all work together. They all pull Cage down. They just start beating the shit out of him. And then outside the ring, they're just piling crap on him. Ladders, barricades.
The old burying shit on a big guy angle.
On the big man.
Yeah.
Then they go and grab one of the giant prop poker chips, and they put that on as the cherry on top. So he's done. He's barricaded in. We get bunch of more falls, ladder bumps. Orange Cassidy and Kip Sabian, they're both climbing to the top of the ladder. They slug it out. Cassidy knocks Sabian off. He falls onto the ladder. So then he's about to win it, but Penelope comes up. She climbs up the ladder, takes a swing at Orange Cassidy, but he just catches her and then just lets her fall back onto Sabian. So nice woman bump.
Yeah. Well, no, it's called a manager bump. It's not called a lady bump.
Baby bump. So Orange Cassidy looks like he's got it again, but that damn Jimmy Havoc, he comes back in. So then the best friends come out to take him out. Then Luchasaurus and Orange Cassidy, they have this little standoff. They're trying to chokeslam each other. So Marco Stunt comes in. He's got his little step ladder to give a boost and do a double chokeslam with Luchasaurus. So fuck him. He's out. A bunch of guys are taken out. Joey Janela picks up Orange Cassidy, and he hits a running Death Valley driver off the apron onto the poker chip, crushing Cage below and taking out Orange Cassidy.
That was a good bump.
That was a crazy bump. Yeah. OC, man, he can take those when he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
And then back in the ring, we're winding down. Luchasaurus is alone when Cage just rises from the dead and he busts out of this pile, and him and Luchasaurus just go at it. Cage picks up Lucha, he power bombs him into the ladder in the corner, sets up a ladder in the middle of the ring. He hits the drill claw on Darby Allin.
That thing's nuts. That thing is
nuts. An insane move. It's like a Steiner recliner. You drop him straight on his head.
Oh my god. It looks cool though.
Yeah, it looks great. So he's killing people. Taz comes down. He's directing traffic. Cage listens. Sets up the ladder. First he just he puts Darby Allin on top of a ladder and just military presses him. Just tosses him into the fucking oblivion.
Yep. Goodbye.
And then the finale, Cage climbs the ladder, unhooks the poker chip, and he has earned himself a future AEW World Title shot. So big debut for Brian Cage.
Big debut. Incredible. Yeah. What a match. Had a lot of fun.
Great match.
Everything from, Kip Sabian, Jimmy Havoc, and Penelope Ford trying to steal the win working together to steal.
Bunch of big bumps.
Orange Cassidy's just pure entertainment. And, of course, the introduction of Brian Cage with Taz as a manager. They're really working this, bringing old guys
Legend
in.
referee.
It's a little bit of that different approach where when we see those legends return to WWE, it's for that crowd pop. It's never for the, oh no, we want you to actually contribute something that will, or if they do, it's very kind of few and far between, right? Maybe they're present for a signing, a championship match signing. But,
MVP is the closest thing. He's like the only coach.
Yeah, but now we've got what? Between Taz, Jake the Snake, and Arn Anderson.
Tully disappeared, but he used to.
Tully disappeared, but, so does Sean Spears from time to time. This was great. So, congrats to Brian Cage. And it was a poker chip, by the way, kind of with a handle on it. It was kind of like a
dinner plate.
I pictured like it was like a briefcase almost, but
and it wasn't even fully, like the hook was loose. It didn't even have a clasp on it.
It was precarious. And this is a great for the AEW's kind of like heavyweight division. I find too, between guys, between Brian Cage, we have Lance Archer, we have Wardlow, we have Brody Lee. A lot of these guys on AEW are smaller, quicker, still extremely athletic, but the heavyweight division is just as strong.
My only question is, why does Brian Cage have a blue tongue?
He had a blue tongue?
Yeah, he looked like Liv Morgan.
Oh, I Maybe he's a big Liv Morgan fan. I don't.
Maybe, or the former Liv Morgan.
The
pink hair.
He pulls a lot from her in-ring style. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah. Oh well, let's go on here because the action doesn't even continue. It does. It fucking kicks right up even more because we got MJF taking on Jungle Boy, and this was just a technical piece of wrestling here. Some good shit. Just back and forth. They're on the mat. They're transitioning from hold to another. They're doing headstands, slapping each other in the face. MJF just spends the match. He's working over Jungle Boy's arm for that, trying to do that arm breaker. Lots of big chops. They're slapping each other's chest to shit.
Yeah. There was the moment where they do the classic, they're not even defending the other guy's chops. They're just fucking taking them.
Back and forth. Yeah. Pain. Jungle Boy hits a crazy reverse Rana onto the side of the apron. So he's looking good. Jungle Boy's in control. Goes to the top rope for a big move, but then MJF grabs Aubrey Edwards by the leg and tries to pull her down. So she grabs onto the rope for leverage, which causes Jungle Boy to fall and get crotched on the top turnbuckle. But then he recovered, hits a big Liger bomb for a near fall, and eventually we get this great finishing sequence where both men are just reversing submissions, pinfall attempts. They both got each other. Their shoulders are down, and then MJF applies the European clutch, gets his shoulders off the mat as Jungle Boys are down for the 3. And MJF's your winner. In a damn good match.
In a damn fine match of the year candidate already, for sure. This is
excellent.
This is making my short list, or come the shooties. This will have to be something that I'll have to consider. Every spot was meaningful. These both guys were trying so hard. We want Jungle Boy to win because he doesn't win too much. And just watching this match, just reaffirming that these two guys are the fucking future of this company. Who will headline? These guys will be headlining Double or Nothing for a belt very, very, very soon.
They could be doing this 10 years from now.
And still in 10 years.
Mid-30s.
They're going to be, I'm pretty sure MJF's like 22 or something. Can't wait for what the future brings for these two dudes. Jungle Boy, Jack Perry.
Yeah, Jungle Boy Jack.
Jungle Boy,
Jack Perry. Jack Perry. Of wrestling. Yes, good shit. But let's go on here because we have the first ever TNT title match.
TNT.
Lance Archer is taking on Cody. Of course, we got Jake the Snake in Archer's corner, Arn Anderson in Cody's, and Mike Tyson is at ringside as the special enforcer.
/ belt presenter.
Yeah. So he brings out that red leather, silver-plated TNT title, and the commentary notes that it's not finished yet. Due to some issue, of course, with the situation going on, there's still going to be some more gold and plating added, I guess. So.
Yeah, they weren't able to make it happen for the day, but they're like, hey, holding piece, there will be something.
Either way, title, it looks okay. It's okay. It's not as good as the world title, I'll say that.
No, world title looks fantastic. This one looks a little bit less. I'm sure we'll hear in the following weeks what their inspiration was for it and everything. All those.
I'll wait to see the finished product to make final judgment.
Exactly. All those decisions are very carefully made. So
Yeah, but let's go on to the ring. Right off the bat, Archer just hits the blackout, and I'm thinking,
Oh my God.
a Brock Lesnar? Are we getting a Brock Lesnar
They
finish
just
here?
brocked this one.
But Cody rolls out of the ring, so luckily he survives. So they're going back and forth. They're having the match, and we cut to Mike Tyson at various points. And the best one was he just full mouth yawning at one point, and just a quick cut made me laugh.
Yeah, I think I saw that one too. I think it was on purpose though. I think he was meant to say.
I think it was a real yawn.
Oh really?
I
thought like it felt like he was almost too comical. Like nobody actually yawned.
It was
like
pretty
that.
comical, but I don't know. To me, it looked. Maybe he worked me like Darby Allin did.
Yeah, maybe you got worked a couple times over this pay-per-view.
But you could be giving Mike Tyson too much credit. I don't know.
We'll
see. We'll see. But back to the match. Archer, he hits that nice tightrope walking moonsault again. I don't even know what the JR called it. Something good, like the Murder Hawk moonsault. Something like that.
Murder Hawk moonsault.
Yeah. Later on, Cody's in control. Jake the Snake's talking shit to Cody on the apron. So he looks right at Jake and hits Archer with a DDT. Jake's a move, just a fuck you. But then in a great all follow-up, Lance Archer hits a big spine buster, staring at Arn Anderson. Some good storytelling there. But then JR is like, well, Jake Roberts used to beat people with his DDT. He's always going old school. But then, Cody, he hits his big springboard cutter off the top rope, only gets a 1. And then he hits a crossroad, only a 2. So Archer's just looking big here. And at one point, Cody pays homage to Sting. He does a big woo and then hits a Stinger splash. And there's rumors that Sting could be going to AEW. So
that'd be fun.
That's Cody playing into it.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Vince hates him. So I think if Sting wants to work, I think he has to go to AEW.
Vince hates Sting,
doesn't he?
Well, I mean, he worked for WWE a little bit.
Yeah, but didn't he have to job out to Triple H?
Yeah, no, Vince just hates WCW.
And didn't he get beaten up by a shittily brought back together NWO?
Well, he beat them. The match was bad.
Okay,
the match was bad.
Okay.
No, the match was bad. I'm not denying that. But then anyway, so Lance Archer is on the top rope again. He's ready to do that walk when Jake starts arguing with the ref. So Arn Anderson jumps up, knocks Archer's feet out from under him. And then Cody follows up with a very scary-looking reverse superplex. Archer almost barely got around on that one.
Barely.
But yeah, Cody thinks he's gotten away with the interference when another ref comes running out and informs the official in the ring of Arn Anderson's interference. So the ref in the ring, he looks at the first base umpire, Mike Tyson, to make the call. And the ref's like, did Arn do it? And Tyson just nods his head and gives him the thumb gesture like, get him out of here. That was good acting from Mike. I love the whole just get him out. He was, and the way he shook his head like, no.
Like, yeah, that over dramatic.
Like someone shit their pants. So the ref throws him out, and then the ref says, you too, Jake, you're gone. So he's out. So back in the ring, Archer's in control. But then soon after, Jake comes back out, and he's got his burlap sack with him. So Mike Tyson gets up, he takes off his shirt, and that just scares Jake Roberts off. And Mike Tyson stares at Archer, and they exchange words. Archer picks up Cody, goes for the blackout, but Cody escapes, and he hits 2 crossroads in a row. And that gets the job done as Cody gets a 3 count, and he's won the TNT title. First ever championship for him in AEW.
First ever championship in AEW. And the video package before this also did emphasize again that he cannot compete for the world championship.
The world
he
title?
did he did say that in the intro video package, why this title, this championship opportunity means so much to him, because it's the only one he can go for. I'm glad to see they stuck to that. A lot of booking. This was booked. A lot of that kind of crosstalk again, because we know that Jake Roberts is not taking a bump. So we know it can only go so far. It was fun to see Mike Tyson, bark at him and chase him away.
Yeah, no punches thrown. We thought Tyson might punch someone, but
we did.
There'll be more Tyson though. We'll get to him later.
We did think that, yeah.
But still overall that was a pretty good match. I think a little surprising. I thought Archer might win, but I'm happy for Cody.
It'll be I want to see where Lance Archer kind of goes from here, because it's really funny. Lance Archer dominant while Jake Roberts is there. As soon as Jake Roberts leaves, Lance Archer loses. Lance Archer himself has had success without Jake Roberts, whether it be TNA or New Japan. So I hope they kind of keep this. I hope they keep them together, but doesn't mean that Jake Roberts is a necessity for Lance Archer to
he
win
doesn't
something.
Rely on him to get the W's.
Exactly. It's like he helps, but he doesn't. It's not the only thing.
In this case, he might have even caught. When he came back out with that sack, it distracted things a little bit. It might have cost.
May have actually cost him the match.
Yeah. Then we get a quick update on Baker. The doctor says she's got some tears and a fracture in her leg, and but the injury is not as bad as the patient. Pretty high maintenance. So this doctor was very unprofessional.
I love that. I love that they have the AEW medical professional. Of course, in WWE, they're always just attending by medical staff. They never they never put a face on it. But now I'm glad that we've put a face on the AEW doctor.
Yeah, but we didn't remember his name.
It doesn't matter what he looked. He's a white guy with brown hair. That's all that really
white
matters.
White guy, brown hair.
That's all that really matters.
But he says Dr. Baker will give us some more update on Dynamite, but that leads us right into the next match, as Baker was supposed to be on the card, but she's replaced by Penelope Ford, taking on Chris Statlander. And Ford, like I said, she's been stepping up her game. She's becoming one of the top heels in this division, and with Baker out, she basically is the top heel now. So.
Yeah, you're right.
So her and Statlander have a good match here. Good back and forth stuff. But I feel like this has happened with them like 3 times now. They go for a reverse Rana, and they always kind of slip up a little bit on the landing. The two of them. Yeah,
I certainly don't know how to perform a Hurricane Rana, let alone a reverse Hurricane Rana.
You just backflip and land on your head.
I mean, it's so hard to say. Is that one of those moves where the person giving it is doing all, or the person taking it is doing all the work?
The person taking it is doing more work.
It's like
they have to backflip, jump, and the other person has to
right. It's the old Ibushi destroyer with the with the blow up doll circle thing, where you're like, holy shit, you're doing so much work right now. You're doing 100% of the work to take a series of Canadian destroyers.
But it was great. So they slipped up there, but they look good still. Kip Sabian comes out at one point to try and interfere. So Statlander just hits a huge running suicide dive onto both of them, flying into the barricade. And then, they go back and forth, back in the ring. Statlander catches a springboard elbow and turns it into a blue thunder bomb, followed by the Big Bang Theory to get the win. Still one of my favorite finishing moves in the company. No,
it looks great. And, Chris Statlander gets the win, but Penelope Ford looked great in this.
Looking good.
Penelope Ford looked great in this match.
She's on the up and up. She's been this whole Corona era, she's been looking very good.
She may not necessarily be as polished of a performer as some of the other women on the roster are, but she has that kind of thing about her. It was fun to see Kip Sabian as her cheerleader instead of the other way. Instead of she's always showing up with him. It goes both ways, exactly. Kind of change.
A good couple gives and takes,
changing up that old trope, right?
Yeah.
And Statlander wins, and she remains right in there and kind of title contention.
Right in the hunt. Yeah, near the top. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so let's go on here. Sean Spears is supposed to take on Dustin Rhodes, but Spears comes out in a suit. He does not look ready to compete because he claims Dustin isn't here. So he wants Aubrey to count him out. So Aubrey starts counting, and then Dustin's music hits again. And this time Brandy comes out, and then Dustin shows up from behind and just starts beating up Spears, stripping his clothes off. Gets him right down to his undies, which is revealed to have Tully Blanchard's face on the crotch. That was your Tully appearance.
That was the Tully appearance.
So that was your little comedy spot. Dustin picks him up, hits the final reckoning for the win. So sorry, your buddy Sean Spears.
Our buddy Sean Spears.
Our buddy
Sean Spears didn't get the win.
I give the edge to Dustin though. Dustin has me. He has more history with me.
Oh, okay. So it's not that Sean Spears isn't your buddy. Is that in this particular setup?
Yeah. Dustin's my bro. He's more than
right. No, this was that a little mid card comedy spot.
Fine. Sean's been winning a lot lately. Dustin could use a win or two here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Definitely.
But let's go on here because we got the AEW Women's Championship match. Nyla Rose defending against Hikaru Shida, but the announcer calls her Hikaru. She's the only one.
Yes, the announcer on Dynamite also said the same thing.
Yeah, Hikaru, but everyone else calls her Hikaru, so I'm going to say Hikaru. Okay. Doesn't matter. Because this is no count out, no DQ. Sheeta's been on a roll for a while. She's ranked number 1 for 13 straight weeks at the top of the charts. And yeah, so we get some kendo sticks early on. We get people. Sheeta gets tossed through a poker table. We get some chairs. Big poker chips. People get thrown into. Sheeta hits like a big running knee, jumping off one chip through the other one. And then we get a table in the corner. Nyla powerbombs Sheeta through it. And then, eventually Sheeta gets a hold of that kendo stick and just starts unloading on Nyla, breaks the damn thing over her head, and then follows up with a big running Shining Wizard on Nyla to get the 3 count. So we have a new women's champion.
New women's...
And well-deserved.
Well-deserved. I mean, this was the only result. The last 2 months of Dynamite has been... putting Hikaru Shida into contention right here. Like we have built up a lot for this. Yeah,
she was quite emotional. Good win for her.
Quite emotional.
She'll be a good champ.
Yes, the no DQ stip was the success to this match.
We had our weapons shot, and Nyla just loves powerbombing people through tables, so
so she keeps doing it.
Yeah. But let's go on. We've got the co-main event because they said we have 2 main events tonight. And they did the right thing. They put the world title match on second last because we got Jon Moxley taking on Mr. Brody Lee for the AEW world title. They just start off. They're brawling outside the ring. Moxley gets suplexed through a barricade. Brody gets back body drop through the timekeeper's table. And then they get 3. I think someone gets broken through that wooden deck of cards at one point.
Someone did. Yeah, by the end of the show, everything was just fucking broken.
Yeah, everything was getting fucked up.
Everything was broken.
There's one spot where they both went for a drop kick at the same time and hit each other. That was kind of interesting. And then back in the ring, another gotch pile driver from Moxley. Love that move. And then the big moment, they fight up the ramp. Mox throws a poker chip at Brody Lee's head, and then he grabs him for the paradigm shift, jumps off the stairs onto the lower part of the ramp, and they break through, they crash through to the floor. It's a mess of destruction here. Mox climbs out of the hole, and then Brody gets up after, and he's bladed, but not too deep, just a little blood there.
Just a little blood.
Just a little blood. So he's bleeding. Moxley hammers away at the open wound, hits another paradigm shift, but Brody kicks out. So Moxley just transitions into a rear naked choke, and Brody fades away, passes out, and the ref rings the bell. So Mox has retained his title clean.
Moxley has retained his title clean in possibly his one of the better pay-per-view matches he's had in AEW. He's worked them all, and they've I think this is one of the better ones. This balls to the wall brawl, if I may say.
The best Brody Lee match, for
certainly,
sure,
certainly. I mean, one of the best Brody Lee matches, or that man's matches that we've seen in years,
in the past few years, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, great spot. Love that stage breaking thing. That was fun.
And unlike the way Lance Archer losing earlier in the night, this Brody Lee losing is like a disputable loss, right? Because he never quit. Then the ref never gave the 3 count. His body gave out on him, right? Maybe that's
Yeah. And he didn't even try to cheat. There was no dark order. Nothing.
There was no dark order. It was very honorable, like he said it was going to be. And what's next? Let's move on with the world title picture.
Yeah, well, we know who's got a shot coming up is the Cage Man. So
the Cage Man,
as I'm calling.
I like that
because I feel he's another one of the guys. I'm going to say the wrong first name. I'm going to say Luke Cage. I'm going to say Johnny.
You're
Cage.
always going to say different cages, right?
Yeah, because it's a yeah. But I know it's Brian Cage. But Mox, good retain, good titles defense.
Of course, yeah. Let's move on to the main event though, because it's main event time.
It's time. Yes, we've been excited for this. It's the big Stadium Stampede match. Inner Circles taking on the Elite. We get the grand entrances. Inner Circles, the whole football thing. They're running out of the tunnel. The smoke fire.
Fantastic. They each have their own jerseys. They're wearing like the football pants that come down to your knees.
Pants. Yeah. Some of them got helmets on.
In a very black and red Inner Circle-esque.
Ottawa Red Blacks.
Yeah. It had the football look, which just fucking sold it immediately.
Yeah. And then the Elite, they make their entrance. They're just kind of dressed up normal. It was the 4 of them, the Bucks, Omega, and Hardy. Hangman's nowhere to be found. So the whistle blows and the match starts. Both both teams just come running down the field. They meet at the 50-yard line. Everyone's
which is
brawling.
where the ring is set up. There's a ring set up on the center of.
They do use it a little bit
of the Jacksonville Jaguars home stadium. By the way, of course, and we have we've been in the last few weeks on Dynamite too. We've had the Jaguars cheerleaders. Kind of,
they're there.
They're also a
noise.
part of what's happening, and they were a part of this match also.
Yeah, they were cheering. They were reacting to spots. So we had trash cans, brooms. And then finally, Hangman comes out onto the field. He's on his horse. And then Sammy Guevara sees him. He's like, oh, no.
Shit.
This is the new thing. Sammy just getting chased, and we love it.
Yeah.
So Hangman just starts galloping after him. They go backstage. So
yeah, there's a clip There's a clip later on of Adam Page on his horse, just like slowly walking around,
just looking
the
around
corridors, looking for Sammy Guevara, and that was JR was like, oh, okay, we'll see what's happening over there.
Yeah, we'll come
back to that.
Then,
oh shit, okay.
Yeah, so then we cut back to the ring, and then we get some normal wrestling for a bit. They actually use the ring, and yes, Sammy Guevara does come back out here, so Hangman's lost. But Sammy, they're all fighting. They fight down to one of the end zones where Matt Jackson grabs a ladder, climbs onto the field goal post, and hits a huge moonsault to the ground. He's already got broken ribs. He's a crazy man.
that
was another injury from that week's Dynamite that we didn't mention.
Oh, really?
He legitimately hurt his ribs.
He broke a rib?
Matt Jackson.
Oh, shit.
Either broke, bruised,
bruised,
cracked.
Oh, shit.
But, huge moonsault. And then the fight starts breaking off into little groups here. So, we cut to Hangman. He's still looking for Sammy. So he parks his horse, and then he goes to hit up the lobby bar. And then we find Santana and Ortiz. They're fighting with Kenny and Matt. They throw salt in Kenny's eyes, hit a double powerbomb on him to take him out through the barricade. And then they toss Matt into this little pool, and they start trying to drown him. But this is the Lake of Reincarnation, so Matt just comes back up. He's the Matt Hardy version 1. And we get the little Matt facts on the screen. And they dunk him under again. They keep trying to drown him, but he's just like smiling under the water and transforming.
He keeps coming up as someone new.
Yeah, so he finally comes back as Broken Matt, tosses them both through a table. He rings a giant bell on Ortiz's head, fucks him up, and then he just tapes him into a wheelchair. And then him and Santana fight towards an ice box, and then Hardy gets revenge for the street fight, this time tossing Santana into the ice box, and he locks him in there. And then we go backstage again, where Jake Hager, he sees Hangman's horse parked, so he goes into the bar, sits down next to Paige, says, I knew I'd find you hiding in here. So Paige just opens a bottle, says, did you come here to fight, or you come here to drink? He pours one and slides it over to him. They both knock back a quick swig, and then they just start swinging. We get some pool table bumps. Hager does the old drag Paige across the bar, knocking all the
glassware over. We've seen it from countless movies.
The classic, gut wrench powerbomb through a table. So then Kenny Omega arrives on the scene to help his partner out, and the two of them just proceed to smash no less than 5 bottles on Hager's head.
Did you count?
Yes, it was good. Each one staggering him a bit more, and so Kenny hits a V-trigger. Hangman hits the buckshot lariat, knocking him over the bar, and then the two of them go over to the bar. Hangman pours a glass of milk. Kenny pours some whiskey, and then they exchange drinks. So friendship, good friendship.
Yes, of course.
And then back on the field, Matt Jackson, he starts doing his local motion Northern Lights suplex on Sammy Guevara on one end zone, and then we just keep cutting back and forth. He goes all the way up the field from one end zone to the other, and then he celebrates with a touchdown dance, but the ref gives him a flag for excessive celebration.
Unsportsmanlike.
So Jackson says, fuck you, and just super kicks him out. And then we go to Chris Jericho fighting with Nick, where he throws him into the Jaguar's head. And then the Jackson Jaguar mascot, he gets mad. He wants to pick a fight with Jericho. So Jericho just lays him out with a Judas effect. And then my favorite moment of the whole match, Jericho goes over, picks up a pylon, and just puts it on his head and goes, as he looks into the camera like the Wicked Witch of the West. He knew it was damn funny when he was doing it. And JR's even like, oh, good Lord. But yeah, that's my new favorite spot.
New favorite, eh?
So after he was having too much fun being the witch, so he gets super kicked right into the kicker's net. And then Jericho gets a hold of Floyd the Bat, and he just starts beating Nick with it. Goes for the pin, but Nick Jackson kicks out at 2. So Jericho starts arguing with Aubrey Edwards. He's saying, that was 3. And she's like, no, he says, I'm challenging the play. So Aubrey's like, you're challenging? So they go to the replay. Let's go to the replay. Aubrey goes over to the little replay tent to review the footage. And she concludes it's a 2. The call on the field stands. So the feud continues. You're a shitty referee.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the match. Them challenging the play and like taking a second to be like, oh, JR's like, oh, it seems like we have a challenge on the field.
Yeah, we got a challenge here, folks. They did show the replay.
Possibly the first ever live challenge to a pin in professional wrestling. You know, oftentimes when the challenges happen, it'll be like the next show on pay-per-view, or then, you know, the next show on television will be like, oh, see, my shoulders weren't down, or whatever.
Yeah, this was live. This was real. So Jericho, that distracts him a little bit. So the Jacksons hit him. They set Jericho up on the table. Nick just starts running down from the stands, hits a huge dive, breaks in through the table. And then when he's down on the ground, Hangman just comes walking in with the little chalk line marker, just runs right over Jericho, drawing a vertical line right down him. And then Sammy Guevara's still knocked out. And then the sprinklers start going off on the field, waking him up. He thinks he's won. He thinks he's the last man standing. So he's just celebrating. But then he hears the revving of an engine in the distance. And he turns around to his worst nightmare as Kenny and Matt are back in the golf cart again. He's just like, oh, shit. He starts running. Kenny points at him. They're driving. They're chasing him down. Sammy jumps over the wall into the stands. He escapes being run over. So the Elite, they go in after him. They're fighting up the seats up to this big balcony. And then a black drone flies in. This is Neo 1. So Vanguard 1's successor, I guess. It stands for something. Neo, I forget. But anyways, they're fighting up. They're on this big balcony. Kenny hits Sammy, sets him up, or he hits a big V trigger, and then he picks him up on his shoulders for this huge one-winged angel off the balcony through this fucking structure below. Crazy spot. Biggest one-winged angel you'll ever see. And Kenny covers Sammy and gets the 3. A well-fought victory after an amazing match.
After an amazing match.
That one-winged angel. Yeah, that was like a fucking 30-foot drop.
You think so? Yeah, I guess it was pretty big.
I don't know, maybe 25.
It was big.
It was big. It was safe. But yeah, amazing match. And then after, of course, they give Kenny the old Gatorade shower and celebration. And the 5 men pose together at the end zone as fireworks go off, and we close out a great pay-per-view.
As we close out a great pay-per-view with the fireworks on the Jumbotron, and this, that, the other. There were some fresh points in this, too. You know, Jericho and the Bucks don't really have... they don't really work much together. Paige and Hager don't really work much together. So we saw a lot of new matchups in this, despite both of these teams going at each other for the past little while.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Everybody had their own little moments when they broke off into groups, and yeah, just lots of good stuff.
Yeah, this will be. Do you know, is Meltzer reviewing shit again yet? Do we know?
I don't know.
Because I feel like this card was it's enough that he needs to start reviewing it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, there was still small crowd there.
There was a small crowd there. I mean, certainly Mania, I understand, but this, especially the match, like this main event that we just had, it's sort of like you could put this on any card and it would be wild, right? Fans or no fans, this is a match that could probably happen because they have the infrastructure to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Uncle Dave's gonna do. We'll see.
We'll see, but yeah, either way, this was a lot of fun. I'm sure there's a lot of people who hate it. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who wouldn't have liked this, though. And that's
only like old losers
exactly
like Jim Cornette.
The old Jim Cornette-esque killing the business kind of thing. Yeah. But this was the most fun I've had watching a wrestling match since. I mean, the Bray Wyatt Cena match, that was fun for different reasons.
Yeah, the Boneyard match.
Boneyard match was fun for different reasons. But yeah, this everything from just Hangman Page on his horse to Matt Hardy coming in and out as different people. Yeah, like you said, to Chris Jericho, just
the Wicked Witch.
The Wicked Witch, they're leaning full into their.
The way he did, he looks right in the camera and smiles.
Yeah, he kind of like
he knows how funny it is.
He arches his eyes too. So
he's fully trained.
He goes into the full.
I hope
face.
He does that. Anytime he sees a pylon from now on, he needs to do that.
He has to put it on his head and just go.
Yeah. The Wicked Witch.
And this delivered everything that it could have.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect show. Looking forward to the next They said there's gonna be another Fighter Fest before All Out, but they didn't say any when.
Yes, I think they said sometime. Yeah, like whenever.
So maybe June, July, I'll get another AEW.
And who knows? Is this the end for the Inner Circle and Elite stuff?
Maybe for now.
I mean, what we've been building it for a long time now.
We'll get back to the blood and guts match eventually.
I mean, we do have that blood and guts thing, but that being said, though, you could switch up the teams, and
we could.
It would be just as exciting, I think.
Or we could just come back to it 6 months from now, let them cool off.
Yeah, but everyone involved here will be going elsewhere, or will be moving on to different programs. That's for sure.
Yeah, everyone still looks good.
And that was the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
that
great show
was the pay-per-view. Let's keep rolling on here, Mike. You named the show, and we're gonna kick right into it.
All right, let's go to the WWE stuff. We'll just do SmackDown.
Okay, folks, it's Friday night. It's time for SmackDown Live. It used to be on Tuesday, but then I think it was on Friday before, though. No, wait. They used to film it on a Thursday and then release it. It's just SmackDown Live.
Not as much happened on SmackDown.
Not as much happening these days. But we do have to be aware of everything because, as we know, the brand-to-brand invitational only allows four opportunities.
4 per year.
4 per year, per calendar year. And of course, King Corbin's the only one who's actually used that so far. So we do need to keep account to make sure that other people, because I think Charlotte Flair's going to be on the show.
Yes, she will be. But they kick off with the dirt sheet, Miz and Morrison. Taking digs at Braun Strowman. And the most important part you have to realize is the debut of Dookie the Diaper Boy. The toilet paper monster with poop in his mouth.
Yes. Very, very important. This made Vince laugh a lot,
I was going to say, that's 100% for Vince. They did some rejected Firefly Funhouse puppets where Dookie the Diaper Boy, this toilet paper monster with poop literally coming out of his mouth. He would open and it would make poop noises and a turd falls out. And they had translations as he talked. It would be like, and it would say what he was saying.
Wow.
So, yeah. Not that we liked it, but just had to point out the Vince-ism. It's a Vince-ism.
The Vince-ism, yes.
There was also Shiloh, the lonely laundry lass. She was there.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, all this was just to make Braun angry. So he comes out. He beats up Miz in a match. And then later they announced that it's going to be a handicap universal title match at Backlash. Miz Mo versus Braun Strowman.
2-on-1 handicap.
So that's all that. 2-on-1 handicap. The team of two never wins.
Never do. No, I think we did do this.
Except for Sami Zayn. That's right.
I was about to say. I think there was like a trivia where we did look at this one time, and there was one or something. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I guess it has happened to Braun in the past. So. Mm-hmm. But let's go. We got the Intercontinental Championship Tournament quarterfinal match here. Shinsuke Nakamura is taking on AJ Styles. And don't get out your invitational pen because this is not part of the invitation.
Because
AJ Styles has officially been traded to SmackDown.
Fucking A.
For future consideration.
SmackDown? Yeah, future consideration. What the fuck? For cash and future considerations. You know what? Like, anywhere.
It's his home. He
literally built the fucking house. I mean, SmackDown without AJ Styles feels weird. SmackDown with AJ Styles just feels so fucking good.
We love AJ.
Oh, of course.
He's back on his own now. The club's gone, so that was more of the Raw thing. Right?
And now he's back in the house that he built, of course. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm going to say he has to be a top 5 merch guy, right?
I'm sure he's up there, and he's not even the babyface.
And he's not even the babyface, and he's 42.
Those gloves sell out at every show.
I bet, and he has a lot of different T-shirts.
Yeah, all those shirts, and armbands, maybe.
Of course, all sorts of stuff that makes him one of the top in the company. But we're getting a match with him and Shinsuke.
Yeah, they had that nice feud a couple years ago. So this was fine. Not quite as memorable as some of their bigger matches, but. Eventually, AJ hits the phenomenal forearm, gets the job done. So he will go to the semifinals to face Elias.
He will go to the semifinals. And Mike, you said this you just before, you said that they had, the series of matches that back in 2018, which Still feels like such a missed opportunity with this overbooking, the unnecessary.
I think Nakamura should have won one of those.
The unnecessary amount of low blows, especially because this was shortly following. There was when Jinder Mahal was the champion. Shinsuke was challenging for that for like 2 months straight.
That was another blown. Shinsuke should have been.
And then they gave the
belt
to AJ, and then it was AJ and Shinsuke for months, and you were just like, holy shit! And all things considered, this may have been one of their better matches under the WWE umbrella.
Yeah, the wrestling was good. There was that one spot where he did like a one-armed Styles Clash because his arm was hurt and stuff like that. But yeah, you're gonna get when you let them wrestle, they're gonna have put out good work.
Of course.
And then we go backstage. Bayley's talking to Sasha. Just says, I don't want you out there tonight. I want to win on my own, so Charlotte can't talk shit. And we just go right into that match. We got Charlotte Flair taking on Bayley, and this is one of Charlotte's 4, so I'll count that.
It's counted. We wrote it May 22nd, 2019. Is it 2019? No, it's 2020.
It's not 2019. But
whoops.
So yeah, good match. Charlotte and Bayley, they know what they're doing. Good back and forth. Bayley kicks out of Charlotte's big boot, which has finished some women off before. And then Charlotte tries to roll Bayley up, but Bayley rolls through, covers Charlotte, and grabs onto the rope for leverage, and she gets the 3 to steal the win. Big win for Bayley.
Big win for Bayley. You know what? I've said it once. I'll say it a million fucking times, Mike. I think you know what I'm about to say. Like this is Bayley's best match since her matches with Charlotte Flair last year. What is it about Charlotte Flair that everyone puts up their best matches against her?
WWE lets them wrestle.
What is it? We had Io Shirai with one of her best matches last week. We had Liv Morgan a couple weeks ago putting on one of her best showings ever. Bayley's best showing in a year now. Like for some reason, WWE keeps going back to Charlotte, and they keep fucking paying off. I gotta say it.
Well, I'm just happy Bayley won. I'll say that.
Well, of course, no. Bayley goes over. This wasn't a championship opportunity.
It was the biggest win she's had in basically a year.
It was the biggest win.
Since she beat
the
Charlotte.
biggest win she's had with this title since she won it from Charlotte. I mean,
Since
it's
she won
like
it back,
something about her. Something about it.
'Cause she didn't even fight at WrestleMania, did she?
It wasn't. It was Tamina, the 4-5 way. It was a fatal 4-way, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that one was actually not bad too.
Tamina, Lacey Evans, Sasha, and someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so. And then Sonya Deville and Dolph Ziggler. We got that mixed tag match against Mandy and Otis. Mandy had some new gear, little Daisy Dukes denim vest match with Otis.
Little new look. Yeah. Gotta be in sync out there.
Yeah. But anyways, the match was fine. They're going back and forth. Sonya Deville and Mandy are alone in the ring. Sonya hits a huge kick to the back of Mandy's neck and gets the win for her and Ziggler. So Sonya continues to look good. We're digging it.
Yes, we'll probably get this again at Backlash.
Yeah, they got to have some sort of paper.
Well, and that's the thing, because I mean, the money is going to be the Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville kind of final showdown between those two.
Yeah.
Which is a genuinely high profile match.
This story has been building for like 6 months.
Yes.
Since Otis and Ziggler entered the picture.
Yeah, it really has been. And
it was like before Christmas.
It is funny, using the male superstars to bring up the women, and then there will be a time where the two guys will step aside and then let the rest of the story play out, right? Which is fine, yeah.
Yeah, fine. Then we go to the main event. Jeff Hardy's taking on Sheamus in the final first round match of the Intercontinental Tournament. So we've been building this for like a month now. Sheamus dominates early on with his brute strength, but Jeff Hardy's got that heart, so he fights back, avoids the brogue kick. Sheamus picks him up for a white noise, but Hardy rolls through into a pin on Sheamus and gets the 3. So Jeff Hardy moves on to face Daniel Bryan in the semifinals, which could be a fun match. Don't know if they've ever crossed
paths on something significant. Who knows? I mean, this was fine work for Jeff Hardy. I think I may have preferred his match with Cesaro at Money in the Bank a little bit better.
Yeah, there was more going on there, but Jeff, the push, they're pushing him. His last little run here. Who knows? He could win the whole tournament.
Well, yeah. So what's the rest of the bracket? What's the rest of this bracket look like? So we have Daniel Bryan and Jeff Hardy, and then AJ Styles and Elias. As our
they're all pretty good. All pretty good names
As
there.
our
I mean, Elias, I expect the least to win.
as our semifinals. But yeah, coming out of this Daniel Bryan Jeff Hardy match, really anyone's game.
Yeah,
Really anyone's game.
Yeah, that's a fresh match I've never seen.
Yeah, neither have I.
But that was SmackDown. That was everything important.
That was all the important stuff, really. I don't think there was a hacker thing.
No hacker this week. Yeah, nothing.
And
with
which
that.
they need to make happen soon because we're gonna forget about it.
We're gonna forget about it.
Yeah, I don't want to forget about it.
Should we just roll into Monday Night Raw?
We're
here?
rolling, baby, like
rolling.
like Limp Bizkit
Like Darby Allin on
on a skateboard, or like anyone on a skateboard, really.
Or like anyone. Yeah, anything with wheels.
Anybody on anything with wheels, we're rolling on to Monday Night Live.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
Wait,
Monday
what
Night
did I call? Oh
Live.
my god!
It was funny.
What's the Monday Night Live, Raw,
Yeah.
Live, perfect.
Raw, yeah, we're here. It's Monday Night Raw. We open up with the Kevin Owens show, and look at this. We have a crowd. We got wrestlers from NXT. They're spread out. We got some plastic windows. It's like a hockey game in front.
Yes, a little.
It's not even that. It doesn't even look that bad with the little clear.
Yeah, it looked a little forced. I mean,
looked a little forced,
AEW's doing it, and they've been doing it for the past month now. It just feels way more natural, where everybody's standing, 8 feet apart. Doesn't feel at all natural.
I don't know. This was good though. I liked it.
Okay, right on.
They made some noise.
Of course, yeah. Well, I mean, any modicum of noise is better than zero.
Yes, and this was the official Raw debut of Shotzi Sweetheart. She was there wearing a Becky Lynch
You mean
shirt.
Shotzi Blackheart?
No, I know what I said.
Oh, okay.
She was there wearing a Becky Lynch shirt. Jessamine Duke was there, and Kevin Owens points her out because she's wearing an Owens shirt.
Oh, good for her.
First time we've seen her in a long
Good
time.
for her.
Yeah, Jessamine Duke. We're hard on the Goons, but we want.
I don't
them
think
to be
I don't
good.
think we're hard on the Goons.
We haven't seen them in a long time. We used to. The fact that we called them the Goons.
But I think that's what you would call anybody. It's either like we could have called them the
No, I
we
know.
could have called them the lackeys. I don't think we were
Yeah.
disrespecting them. I
don't
think
know,
we
I
were just
was.
why?
They're not. They weren't very
Why
good
would
in
you-
the ring.
Why would you
Remember the arm tickler?
the arm tickler?
The
I
arm
don't
tickler.
think
The,
so.
the midget tickler. I mean, her long arms.
Oh yeah, no, she's very very lanky. No, Mike, this is I think
right, let's hear-
anytime you're always the one making fun of people. I think I'm a little more reserved, or I'm calling them the Goons, but it's not because I'm making fun. You're calling the Goons
I
because
just
you're
called the
poking
woman
fun.
Shotzi Sweetheart.
Well, yeah, but we're talking about the Goons on the.
I could pick my favorites. I can pick
Okay.
But anyways, Kevin Owens is out here. He's talking about stuff. Big Bad Nia Jax and Charlotte. He's talking about the women. Charlotte, Nia, Natalia. We're going to get that match tonight. So they all come out. They start talking. Natalia apologizes to Owens for freaking out, messing up his set last week. Anyways, the three women, they brawl. We're going to get shit later.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the preview for Edge versus Orton, where, let's talk about it, because they're calling it the greatest wrestling match ever.
Why?
I don't know why.
I
It
don't
doesn't make any
understand
sense.
this branding. I mean, I'm not saying that it couldn't be. I'm not saying that. I mean, it's something that's in the future. We don't know. This could very well. This could very
be a
well
damn good
be
match.
the greatest wrestling match ever. But just
But why even put that
brand
on?
it like that? Yeah, it's so weird.
That's something you say after.
Especially because that Snickers logo is right underneath it. So it looks goofy because I'm like, greatest wrestling match ever by Snickers.
There's not even anything special about it.
Yeah.
Like when they called it the greatest Royal Rumble, I could understand. There was
Because you're like
50 men.
50
It was the first time.
people,
Yeah.
I get it, but the greatest wrestling match ever. I'm like, oh, what's gonna make this?
It's just a one-on-one match.
What's gonna make this better than anything else? I really don't know.
Terrible tagline.
Just
We
so
don't get it.
odd. Yeah, fuck.
It doesn't make
I
sense.
don't know.
But anyways, whatever.
Whatever.
We got a championship match. That United States Championship, which I feel like hasn't been defended in a long time.
No.
Andrade, he's defending against Apollo Crews. He's back. So, we're ready. Of course, during the match, Selena Vega's jumping on the apron, causing shit. So, but she ends up getting knocked off when Apollo avoids an attack. Risky bump. She falls right on those high heel boots. That's a hard one.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know how women walk around in heels, anyways. Let alone take a bump and
let alone
fucking
fall.
land on it. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So she's hurt. Andrade's tending to her until the medical staff come out. And then back in the ring, they're going back and forth until Cruz hits a big military press, follows it up with a standing moonsault and a standing shooting star press, and that gets him the 3, and he wins his first ever title, the United States Champion.
And new.
Well, that's implied. Yes, his first ever new United States Championship. Good for him. Good guy. And he actually had a little crowd here to make some noise for his celebration.
Of course.
So it sounded good.
Of
Yeah,
course.
he
A great
had...
match between these two motherfuckers. God, I feel like Apollo Crews has just been on the roster forever, I bet. And
yeah, he got called up like 3 years ago, and this is the first thing he's accomplished.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and like you said, having the voices around there makes it a little more special.
Yeah, it was nice. And, the Vagabonds, they've been picking up some losses here.
Yeah, after picking up a lot of steam.
Yeah.
This sounds like just classic 50-50 booking of the Vagabonds on this one.
Yeah, but let's go on here. Backstage, Seth Rollins has Rey Mysterio's mask from that attack on his eyeball a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Cuts a promo saying Rey was a sacrifice, and in the time of need, he fulfilled his duty to the greater good. So, he's all in on this now, and he talks about his new disciples, Theory and Murphy, and all of that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get to the great stuff, because up next, we got the Iconics coming out. Peyton, she wants to apologize to Billy, again, for costing them their title match. But Billy says, no, I'm the one that needs to be sorry. I got caught up in my emotions when I slapped you. And it makes me sick to my stomach that I hurt you because I don't want anything between us. We've come so far together. So Peyton agrees. She thanks her. We grew up together. We signed our contracts together. We won the tag titles at WrestleMania together. And we never even had an opportunity to defend our titles. We were overlooked, had our opportunities stripped and thrown into the trash. We should still be the women's tag team champions. I agree. She was preaching right to me, baby. And even some of the crowd was cheering what they said, even though they're supposed to be heels. They were getting over here. And over our dead bodies is some crazy lady and the office's favorite blonde. That's not Charlotte. Gonna get their titles or whatever. Hold their titles over their heads. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, Bliss Cross, they come out. They give their little rebuttal. Alexa says, you had your opportunity. You blew it. And then Nikki goes to speak, and they just say, shut up and be grateful to even be here. And this fires up Nikki Cross, and she gives one of the best promos she's ever had. Talking about, coming from Scotland, having nothing, and you two always had each other. I had no one. But then Lexi came along and gave me respect. And we're the women's tag champs because Lexi helps me from being crazy. She keeps me focused. And you know what? I'd like to think I taught her a little something about friendship. And I can't name anything more iconic than that. And Alexa just gives this genuine heartwarming smile to Nikki. And it's true. A year ago, Alexa was just a top heel. And now she's a sweetheart because of Nikki. And that was a great promo. Crowd was going nuts for Nikki. I loved it. And Iconics were pissed off. So they just nailed them. They start swinging. They leave them laid out. And they hold up the tag titles. So hopefully that's what happens for real at Backlash.
Of course, because if we were to ask us this question after last week's results, I mean, fuck, this women's tag division can't get any smaller. It can't afford to get any smaller. We need Peyton Royce and Billie Kay here, and this was a fantastic segment for the Iconics and Nikki Cross. Someone like Alexa Bliss, who's had so much success on the main roster. I've never seen Alexa Bliss involved in a segment where she talked so little.
Yeah, the least of anyone.
The least of all Nikki, four of those women out there. It's great to see her kind of take that step back and let the other three women really show what they have to offer. And the Iconics and Nikki Cross, their interaction between the three of them seemed more passionate and aggressive than ever.
It was excellent, yeah. That was the best promo I've ever seen from Nikki Cross, and the Iconics are always great at promo.
Of course, yeah. Fantastic on the mic, and just elevating those three women. It was great. It was a great booking.
Yeah. Then we got MVP doing his little VIP lounge, but Drew McIntyre's having none of it. He just tosses over the futons. So Lashley comes out, Drew hits MVP with a Claymore. So that'll lead to some shit later.
Of course.
But yeah, MVP though, he's he's a good talker.
Still there, yeah.
Kevin Owens takes on Angel Garza, but Garza attacks Owens during his entrance, so he's working over that leg, beating him up. Later on in the match, the leg gives out on Owens, so Garza hits the wing clipper and gets the victory. One of the biggest of his career.
Yeah, this happens sometimes on the main roster where it's like WWE puts everyone's name in a hat. And then, and they'll just pull out two names, and sometimes the match works, and sometimes the match doesn't. And this was one of those opportunities, or one of those examples of just when it works. I mean, Garza and Owens have zero history together, but they have great chemistry as professional wrestlers, and were able to put on something that, although seems random, ended up being real good.
Yeah, and the Vagabonds get a much-needed win for their group.
Of course.
With Garza. But then the battle of the sports continues. The series is tied 1-1. So we got the Viking Raiders taking on Street Profits in a round of golf. So we start off. They all got their nice golf outfits on. The Vikings got a cooler full of meat with them.
Of course.
Street Profits, they're hitting great shots. Vikings, they don't know what they're doing. They're tossing the clubs around like spears. They don't know the rules. So they're just, chopping the ball around, fucking up the course. Montez Ford hits a Happy Gilmore shot, banking off like 20 things into the hole. Just a bunch of silly stuff going on there. They're breaking stuff. He jumps into the golf cart, the tires blow out. So the marshal has had enough of their bullshit. There's turkey legs all over the course. You guys are out of here. So they go over to the Lost Caverns Adventure Golf to pick up their game. So a little mini putt in Florida that I think I actually went to as a kid.
Oh, no way.
This one, yeah. So anyways, Street Profits, they're sinking their shots. The Vikings are all over the place. They get in trouble again as the big lady mini golf marshal tells them to stop. But then she says, you know what? I'm going to let you finish because you're cute and you not so much. So same joke as last week. We finally get to the 18th hole. Ivar has to make a putt so they can finish the game, which he does, and we get the final score. Viking Raiders 144 to Street Profits 28. So, of course, the Vikings think that the high score is good, and they celebrate. The Street Profits say, nah, man, low score wins in golf. So the Street Profits are up 2-1 in the anything you can do, we can do better series. So
yeah, this was for me. This was the weakest of the three. What I find really weird about these things, and I love people trying new things. I can't stress that enough. That's fantastic, and I always support it. But it's odd I find it's odd to throw the Viking Raiders, tough guys, for the past however long they've been on the roster, and now we're trying to delve into their lighthearted character side, which I find is weird because the Viking Raiders up until now in WWE have kind of been booked as personality-less tough guys. Where I'm sure it has worked before, Mike. I'm sure we could look back on the history of professional wrestling and find tough characters who were shown lightheartedly. But it's really changed the aura of these Viking Raiders now. I feel like they're going to come back to the ring, and it's like, oh, I'm not scared of you guys as brick shithouses anymore because I saw you guys on a mini putt course, and it kind of devalues the toughness.
Maybe they saw the success that Otis is having, and they're like, "Oh, we can have a little silly, but turkey leg eating group."
Certainly,
not that I agree with it.
Machinery coming in as those faces really coming in as those very expression full, if that's even a word. Team.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, oh, that's part of their thing. They're funny. They lift weights. They eat food. Viking Raiders coming in as, they had 2 months straight of beating jobbers.
Yeah.
And now suddenly it's like, oh, no, wait, those guys who ran through competition for 2 months, no, they're actually really funny now.
Yeah, they don't know.
So who's the champion? There's one of these two teams the champ.
Street Profits.
Okay, there you go.
Champs.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, doesn't mean much. Then we go Humberto Carrillo and Aleister Black taking on Austin Theory and Murphy. Quick match. Theory hits the ATL on Carrillo to get the win for him and Murphy. And then afterwards, Seth comes out, starts directing his disciples to continue the attack, and they have Carrillo ready to jam his eye into the steel steps, but Black has a chair. So Seth says, "Everyone listen!" And he just kind of gets everyone to back off and says to saying, Ray was sacrificed for the greater good, so don't make it in vain. So Black tosses the chair away, and they don't sacrifice Carrillo.
They do not sacrifice him. Seth Rollins, still on this killer...
This mean, crazy Seth. I'm
this killer streak recently from the...
Charlie Manson.
From the Monday Night Messiah. Better, just great stuff every single week, getting better.
Yeah, and they're selling. Ray hasn't been around, so they're selling that eye injury. So. And then backstage, the Vikings and Street Profits are still bickering, so they say, Vikings, you choose the next sport. And they choose bowling for next week.
Yeah, and you know what? It's going to be more of the same.
It's going to be the same.
We're going to get two, at least
even
two more of
these.
They'll have to do best of 5. Yeah. They can't leave it like 2 and 2.
No, yeah. So, it'll be the same shit. Vikings will throw the balls all over the place. And stupid stuff. But then the MVP walks up with Lashley, and he's like, look at this, waste of talent. Talking about the Street Profits. And they jaw back, so he challenges them to a tag match. And that'll be your main event.
That'll be the main event.
But we got triple threat women's action. Charlotte taking on Nia Jax.
So is this a brand-to-brand moment?
No, because she's still part of Raw for some reason.
Okay. Okay, I'm deleting it from the records.
Yeah. She's a Raw member, but she's NXT champion. I don't get it.
Okay. So really, only when she shows up on SmackDown is she not allowed. I feel as though that's okay. Those are the rules. Okay, great.
But so triple threat match here. Winner gets to face Asuka for her belt at Backlash. So the two blondes, they work together. They to take out Nia. They hit a double powerbomb through the announce table, but she comes back later, unfortunately. And but no, the match itself was pretty good. Charlotte has Natty locked in the figure 4, but then Nia hits a leg drop on Charlotte, picks up Natalya, hits a Samoan drop, and gets the win. So Nia Jax is getting that title shot. And Asuka better kick her ass. And
I'm sure I don't think we saw Asuka this week. It was also weird to see Natalya in this match instead of Shayna Baszler. I guess if Jax is getting the win, she can't pin Shayna, she can't pin Charlotte. I guess that's really our only reason for her to be in this match. But I think the opposite of that would just be, hey, maybe we don't push Nia Jax. Odd booking in this women's division. I don't know, the past little while. I guess. Yeah,
hopefully that's just.
I guess they're trying to find their footing again after Becky Lynch's departure and moving the title over to Asuka. Take a couple more weeks to find their footing, and then hopefully after Backlash we can kind of get back on our regularly scheduled program. Yeah.
This can just be a nice, easy title defense for Asuka, hopefully. And then R-Truth does a quick promo on the Gronk because he finally learned that he's the 24/7 champion. And then Gronkowski cuts a promo in return. If you want to come after my title, bring it on. It stays with me. So, hopefully it does make its way to the NFL. There's nothing else to do with it.
It could. I mean, yeah. Or just bring it back. Who the hell knows? I mean, I don't even know what the word is on football coming back.
I think it's normal scheduled. Maybe.
Well, of course. Everything's. Well, I think one of the problems with football coming back is that you need 60 players on a team. So, regardless of anything, you'll need at least 100 players, probably 20, at least 40, maybe coaching staff. To make a game of football happen, you need 200 people. So it's how do they make that work? And I know the NBA's exploring options of isolating players at Disney World, which is apparently pretty close to happening, or at least so it'll be a lot more difficult. We'll see if this ever comes back, but you might as well bring it back. I'm sure he is the longest reigning. Has he beaten out that other guy, whoever that other guy's name is?
Yeah, Riddick Moss, who has disappeared.
I guess he beat him out. Okay, cool.
Anyways, main event: Street Profits taking on Lashley and MVP. Match was okay. Montez Ford was a star, flying all around. He hits his big frog splash on MVP. He's got the match won, but then Lashley just comes in and locks on the full Nelson. Doesn't break the hold, so the ref has to DQ him. And then Drew McIntyre comes out, and he brawls with Lashley until they get separated by a bunch of guys to end the show.
Yeah, but just booking that match to Backlash. We're still a little bit away from that, I think. who knows? Maybe after this, Lashley and MVP, a little tag team run, because they're doing a fine job. Oh my God, excuse me. They're doing a fine job just working together a little bit.
Yeah, I'm liking MVP. I'm liking him on the mic. I like that he's like recruiting other people as well. He's doing things.
Yeah, just changing it up a little bit is what we love to see.
Yeah, and that was your Monday Night Raw.
That was Monday Night Raw. Another show with and next week we'll have probably more people standing ringside, and probably more and more as they go. The people standing ringside will also get more used to it. It always feels like at the AEW shows, like they're genuinely cheering, where maybe at this show it felt like maybe they're cheering because Vince is telling them to cheer. It feels
well, not during the Iconics.
Certainly, yeah. It feels a little bit maybe less authentic, but they'll work out those kinks as we go. And next week, I'm sure will be a better product because of it. Mm-hmm. Mike, I think it's about time we take a quick break.
Take a quick break.
And we'll be back with AEW and NXT.
Yes, no trivia. We're too busy.
We're too busy for trivia, so you're going to stick around, and we got the Wednesday Night Wars for you.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
Welcome back to the show here, folks. The second half of the show, the second half of the Shoot Brothers podcasts. Thanks for sticking it out through the break.
Yeah.
And, of course, in the second half of the show, we usually have our Wednesday Night Wars, which we got coming up. And I got to say, for you folks at home, though, no trivia this week. We have with Double or Nothing, of course, which we knew was going to take up so much of our time, in a good way. I'm going to say that like it's it's taxing. I had so much fun watching that show. We have what in the industry is known as a hard out. Which is a term, an interview for celebs term used to mean that do whatever you want, but by a certain time you gotta get out. And I'm the one with the heart out this week, Mike, because I've got a tea time coming up later. I mean, I know we're seeing a bit of rain right now.
Some scones and tea. You're gonna go meet for some...
Exactly. I'm just gonna start spilling the tea, baby. That's of course what I mean by tea time. I'm spilling the tea all over the place. That's a reference from a show that I've never seen before.
I don't know what show you're
talking about. I think it's a drag race term. I think spilling the tea means gossiping. Now, don't quote me on this, white women of the internet, because I don't know the answer. But what I do know is that we can keep going on with this Wednesday Night War. And although we just had the pay-per-view. We just had Double or Nothing on Saturday, so we know the shows before and after pay-per-views are always going to be great. So let's kick off the second half of the show with a little bit of AEW.
AEW. All Elite. They coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
Dynamite!
Yes. We
are. Yeah. All the fallout from that, of course, we're going to see Cody Rhodes as TNT champion. We were told that we're going to be hearing from Britt Baker about her current situation and her condition. But we actually kick off the show with a match. We kick off the show with a match between Joey Janela and Private Party taking on Matt Hardy and the Young Bucks.
Yeah, and Matt, before the match, transforms into a very young version of himself with this old outfit here. This was like even before the Hardys were big, like jobbers. And
this was, actually,
it's like little purple outfit
for moments
thing.
In this match, I couldn't tell who was who. I think there was a point.
Matt looked good, though. I like how
it was kind of like, wait, when did Matt Hardy get here? And then it was like I was asking myself these questions.
Exactly. Yeah, he ties his hair back. He even had different music.
And he had the Elite headband also under his thing, and they've all got beards. And
he even wrestles. Wrestles a little.
And we
different.
haven't seen the Young Bucks together in months now. So
not like this.
We get this little tag.
Yeah, Hardy at one point he had a nice moonsault onto all three men at once, laid out. Good back and forth match. Eventually, the Bucks, they hit the more bang for your buck, and they get the wins with Hardy. And then, Mark Quinn hurt his knee at one point in the match.
It looks like a real injury.
That was a fake. I think that one was fake. So we're reversed on this one.
Okay. Because I was saying, like, he was talking to too many people. Like, Matt Hardy came and whispered in his ear, and I saw at one point, like, the ref took out his earpiece, and I was like, oh, shit, this seems a little... Who knows?
So we're on opposite ends.
We are on opposite ends.
Well, here's why I think it was fake, because Matt helps him to the back, and then now this leaves the Bucks at a disadvantage. So Butcher and Blade come into the ring, and they start beating up the Bucks. And they were dressed in like Mr. Clean outfits.
Yeah, they were like all white with suspenders,
white pants, white shirt.
Cool.
Normally they're wearing like leather.
Hey man, that's you're in Florida, baby. You're wearing all white.
Yeah, that's fine. So they're beating up the Bucks when all of a sudden FTR, formerly the Revival. That's not what FTR stands for.
Yeah, it is what it stands for, I think.
Isn't that good? I kind of. No, they're just going by FTR now. They show up. I forget their names. They have names.
Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. Say that
Thank you.
4 times fast.
So close to Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson.
It's kind of like they always they switched around the first letters of all the names. Okay, well, what do we get? Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood make their way, come in this like old school looking pickup truck in the same place where Cody came in with his pickup truck. So I really hope that this entrance to the
but they didn't knock down.
They didn't knock down anything. I really hope that this entrance to the AEW side is kind of like their equivalent of the Performance Center parking lot. Like it's sort of like this gateway that facilitates matches. If you want to, if you want to start a match, and you want to start a program with someone.
Yeah, don't come down the ramp. You got
you got to drive down the thing, just like you got to attack them in the PC parking lot. And of course, so they come rolling around, and they're looking way bigger than they did in their time in WWE. I mean, we didn't see them much in WWE, to be all fair.
Yeah. Especially the last, while the rumors were going wild, we all kind of knew they were leaving.
The rumors were going dash wild, and and the rumors, I guess they're 90. Did they have a 90-day compete clause? They must have.
Before, I guess they did, but that's
over.
So they're here. They get in the ring. They go over to the Young Bucks. They look like they're gonna attack them, but then suddenly they turn around. They hit Butcher and Blade, hit a big double spike pile driver, which you never would have seen them do in WWE.
Never.
But then they hit the Shatter Machine, which you did see, so that's still their finisher. And then the FTR and the Bucks, they just stare each other down as FTR leaves. So nice little debut.
Nice little debut. It's so crazy that there's tag team action that's opening up a show, super hot, neither involving the number one contender to the actual champs, right? It'll be interesting to see where FTR goes. I mean, FTR opening up their AEW career in a program with the Young Bucks seems like the smartest choice, especially after all of the. I'm sure you've seen the various being the elite.
Yeah. The sky
chirps,
paint the clouds, and all
everything. Like, the whole fuck the Revival came from being the elite, came from those guys.
Wasn't it back like the Bullet Club days?
Back in the Bullet Club days, and 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 FTR could never retaliate because they were employed by WWE.
Yeah, they were stuck.
And I'm sure they remember that they've been shit on by these guys for a long time. They'll remember that.
We're gonna get some good tag.
Yeah, we're just gonna get some good fucking tag wrestling.
Yes. Anyone who watched NXT knows that the Revival's actually very good. Or FTR.
FTR, yeah.
They had some 5-star matches in NXT. But let's go to the debut. Brian Cage versus Lee Johnson. You know the deal. Quick squash with that awesome drill claw.
And with John Moxley on commentary. Even when the man comes comes in to do commentary, he can't just walk in the normal way.
Didn't he? Yeah, he came in the side.
He did the old little side entrance thing, but he
did the old Spike Lee. I can come in the player's entrance.
Yeah, he's pulling a Spike Lee, trying to get in at Madison Square Garden. What do you mean I'm not allowed back in?
Yeah, I've been coming in here 20 years.
For 20 years. I'm the fucking champion.
Yeah.
And like you said, he gets that. Yeah, the drill claw. Is that what you were calling it?
Yeah, awesome move.
Fucking A.
It's deadly.
And like you said earlier on the show, Double or Nothing, we are getting a Fyter Fest, and this match will be happening at Fyter Fest. Moxley and
tentatively, it's got to be before September, so sometime in the summer. Nice little summer pay-per-view.
I think and Taz jumped on the mic there too at the end and just kind of started hyping the match.
Yeah, Taz is he's doing double duty. He can do some commentary and manage.
Does he do? He does Dark. Does he do AEW Dark?
I think so.
Okay, interesting.
And he did a couple.
Well, who knows? Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't know. I don't watch Dark the way I did when it started.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe he's off commentary there. Who the fuck knows?
I don't know. Either way, he's around. He did the pre-show at Double or
right.
Nothing.
That is correct.
But Next we get the lovely Dr. Britt Baker. She gets rolled out on her wheelchair, which says role model with 2 L's on the
Perfect.
back. Great. She even got pyro for her.
She had pyro. Well, you're outside. We can do a
pyro for her.
Whatever the fuck we want.
No, but I don't think she had it before, so that's nice.
Oh, okay.
And of course, her bitter rival Tony Schiavone's there to interview Britt. She's got her large notepad to present the rules of being a role model, and she's got Reba there with her to flip the pages. No, not Reba McEntire.
yeah. Who was this Reba woman?
I don't know. She's been around before. I forget.
Oh, you've seen her? I don't think I've seen her before.
I've seen her, but I don't know. I think she can wrestle. Anyways, here's the rules. Don't hurt the role model. And she calls her injury last week a conspiracy. And she starts providing some evidence. She says, Statlander, you being an alien is a crock of shit. Conspirator. And Sheeta, you broke my nose. You're a fraudulent champion. You carry a weapon. Conspirator. And Nyla Rose, I've seen you come off the top ropes countless times with precision and grace. And you couldn't avoid landing on my fragile leg? Conspirator. So then she tells Reba to get the board, and she brings over this cork board with a bunch of strings connecting the evidence.
Classic conspiracy theory guy, crazy person board. The red.
Gotta have the yarn.
You gotta have the red yarn that's connecting everything to everybody.
Yeah, the thumbtacks. So, and it all centers on the brain of the operation, Madam Aubrey Edwards. Because coincidentally, she just so happens to be around every time I'm injured. Concussion, Aubrey Edwards was there. Broken leg, Aubrey Edwards was there. Broken nose, Aubrey was somewhere. So you've all been put on notice. You try to take me out, but the joke's on you because I will be back at All Out. So September, that's your timeline for return.
Which is good.
Great
which
promo.
Means this isn't an ACL tear.
It's not. Yeah, so it's a little.
For all
they showed the X-ray,
for all
fracture.
we know, this is we're being worked.
we don't know.
Actually.
This last week of injuries on AEW, maybe now they're like, let's just make everybody get injured so they don't know
I
it's
do
real.
want to say somebody, I don't know who, but saw Britt Baker's Instagram account where her recent photos are all knee and up. So possibly
they're all what?
like mid thigh and up.
Oh, so you can't.
You
see
can't
her.
see. No, of course there were photos from Double or Nothing. She's there with Mike Tyson, but it's like mid thigh and up. Possibly, maybe if she did not have a knee brace on, she was standing up. I don't know. I'm being worked. I'm fucking being
Either
worked.
way, excellent promo. Top heel of the division.
Top heel of the division, and
she's not even in the
not
division.
even in the division. And what's getting me about this is that Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is not the first performer to believe that Aubrey Edwards is tilting the scales in one person's favor. I mean, there is a documented history of Chris Jericho's problems with Aubrey Edwards. I'd be curious if we could look back at some of that footage. Maybe Aubrey Edwards did.
I think we're gonna get. I think she's gonna become involved in the storyline.
I think she'll become involved in the storyline. And what I love about her also is that she's young and athletic enough that I think we could throw her into a quick program.
Aubrey?
I think so.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I think so.
She might even know.
That's the thing. All these WWE refs don't look like they could ever.
Well, except for Drake, he looks jacked.
Yeah. Oh, that guy's big.
The Jersey Shore
guy.
guy.
That guy's big. But I was gonna say you can't put like Little Nate out there, because
he was like a former death wrestler.
Oh really? Oh wow.
Yeah, like fucking razor blades.
Yeah, that's fucked.
But yeah, let's go on here. Backstage, Inner Circle's being interviewed when Orange Cassidy just walks by in the background casually.
No, he doesn't walk. He meanders.
Yeah. And Jericho's like, did he just do that? Okay. See you later, Orange. So, target on the back. Then we get Christy Janes taking on Hikaru Shida. New girl here. She looked good, but she's not going to beat the champ on her debut. So Shida gets the win with the Falcon Zero.
Shida came out. Did she come out with a cool outfit, or was it in her video package? I can't remember. It was like this silver plated thing covering her face. Okay, I guess
I know her entrance video has that.
Okay, I guess it was just her video then. I thought I could have sworn.
I mean, she might. I didn't pay attention. Sometimes I fast forward the.
Yeah. Fuck. I can't remember now. I'm just making myself sound foolish.
But yeah. Anyways, new TNT champion Cody comes out, in-ring interview with Tony, talking about the big win, and he just cuts a promo saying, "I'm the champ, and I'm gonna be a fighting champion every single week." That's a big load if he's 52 matches a year, every TV. We'll see.
Yeah, plus pay-per-views. Didn't John Cena do that for a little bit though?
Plus, yeah. Oh, some guys have wrestled like 300.
Yeah,
days
he
in a year
did
on all the
his.
house shows.
Didn't John Cena have his Open U.S. title?
Yeah, U.S. Open Challenge every week, and it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, but Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc teaming up again, taking on SCU. Just a little, fun little match. Penelope helps them get the win. They cheat. So, Sabian and Havoc win. New alliance working.
New alliance, yeah. Well, an alliance by necessity, perhaps. But who knows?
Well, I think Jimmy...
Or like Kip
either way.
Sabian has his manager, and
At
now
the end of the day,
has his violent bodyguard.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, Sabian can go home and lay on top of Penelope.
You're so weird. You're so weird.
If
Mike.
anything
You're
else.
so weird.
Battle Royal. What? Nothing wrong with that. Battle Royal here, where the winner earns a shot at Cody's TNT Championship. Mm-hmm. So let's just jump right into this thing. MJF, Wardlow, Luther, Peter Avalon, bunch of guys, Luchasaurus. They're all in there. All your favorite mid-carders. So we're past social distancing at this one. All these guys in here at once.
yeah, I never thought of that.
The match begins, and then Orange Cassidy's music hits, and he slowly makes his way down to the ring. But he gets attacked from behind by Santana and Ortiz. For that
Not happy
earlier
about
incident.
that, yeah.
Yeah. And MJF just spends a large portion of the match sitting on the top turnbuckle as Wardlow's just standing guard, his little roadblock. Good strategy. So we get a bunch of eliminations. Colt Cabana, after he gets eliminated, some members of the Dark Order hand him a little piece of paper. So maybe some more recruitment.
Read our pamphlet. Let us know.
Yes, here's some literature.
We have some free punch.
Anyways, they're going at it. Bunch of eliminations here. Billy Gunn, Luchasaurus. The final three comes down to Wardlow, MJF, and Jungle Boy. Or is it? Because Orange Cassidy rolls back into the ring. He was never eliminated.
He was never eliminated, technically. I mean, he never made it in, but he was never eliminated.
He did here. He's in. He gives MJF a gentle push. So Wardlow just grabs him. MJF puts on the diamond ring, goes for the big punch, but Orange Cassidy ducks. Wardlow gets nailed. Ooh. MJF runs at Orange Cassidy. He moves. Jungle Boy backdraws MJF to the floor. And then Orange Cassidy, Jungle Boy quickly dump Wardlow to the floor. So final two. Big moment. Love it. They're going at it. Orange, he hits his big Superman punches, goes to toss Jungle Boy, but he just reverses it, bounces off the ropes, and hits a Hurricane Rana to get Orange Cassidy over the ropes to the floor and get the win. So Jungle Boy gets that TNT title shot.
At date TBD.
That'll be a classic. Cody versus Jungle Boy.
Cody versus Jungle Boy. You know what? Especially when we got down to the final two, we had Orange Cassidy and Jungle Boy there. Just made me thinking that, I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen it yet, so of course we don't know how it would fare. But the Orange Cassidy versus face match seems much harder to book than the Orange Cassidy versus heel match. Even I was picturing Orange Cassidy. He did win this title opportunity. You couldn't make Cody look dumb or silly because Cody, of course, he's a very serious competitor, but he's like a good guy. In that versus like Neville, like you can make Pac rather, make him look silly. You can make him look a little foolish, but he's going to get the upper hand, which doesn't necessarily work the other way around. But Orange Cassidy will get his shot. But for now, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, they're going to have one of those matches where they're going to shake hands at the end of it. You know those matches?
Yeah, it'll be a banger.
Yeah, it's going to be a banger, and they'll, respectfully shake each other's hand and all the... That's what I picture.
Yeah, that's fine with me. But let's close out the Dynamite with Inner Circle coming out here for their pep rally.
The cheerleaders are back.
The cheerleaders are back. They toss out shirts. They got some stadium stampede.
They got some little pom-poms.
Inner Circle, yeah. So they're tossing shirts, but then the crowd starts tossing them back in the ring, pissing off Jericho.
Well, I think the cheerleaders were tossed around the shirts, of course, led by lead cheerleader of AEW, of course, Vicky Guerrero.
Oh yeah,
because she was mic'd up too. She wasn't just present. She was the only one like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back with Jericho. Fantastic, and she's been at a bunch of the tapings also. We see her there on the heel side, often talking to Sean Spears or something.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a very loud, carrying
Got a very loud
voice.
carrying voice. And as far as I know, I think she's been just flat out been blacklisted from WWE forever now, which is all good.
I don't think she was blacklisted. I think she chose to go to AEW.
Oh yeah, but I think they're. Oh, you think like she's on their
She
payroll?
had a job for life with WWE if
That's
she
a
wanted.
good point. Yeah.
But she left them to
I
go
think
to
she's on the
AEW.
payroll. I guess, yeah, she's doing all sorts of commentary and stuff. Anyways,
Yeah.
they do come out for their pep rally because Chris Jericho's here to say that, despite the loss, they are going to band together and they'll be back stronger than ever.
Yeah, they give each other a bunch of gifts. We got some trophies, some food, Timberlands for Hager, picture of Mark Anthony for Jericho, little scooter for Sammy because he's too cool for crutches. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so a bunch of these little gifts.
A framed photo of Mark Anthony for Chris Jericho.
Yeah, for Jericho. Wasn't autographed. It was just a picture.
Framed. Yeah, they could have like faked an autograph. No,
Fake the sig.
No.
But anyways, Jake Hager reads a poem he wrote about happiness and the inner circle. And then Sammy's like,
he's reading this poem, and Mike. So I have two areas on my Weather Network app, right? I can access Toronto weather or Jacksonville weather. I just always want to know what's happening down there because they are outside. It was 26 degrees Celsius down there. Right,
Yeah,
so about
that's
kind of like about as hot what it was the other day here in Toronto.
we've had that here.
Jake Hager was sweating as though they're in the triple digits. This guy was sweating so much, and I'm looking around at everybody.
He was nervous about his poem.
I'm looking around at
He was
everybody
like-
else, trying to wonder, like, oh, it must be very, very hot down there. Nobody else is sweating.
No, maybe this poem really was
that's
personal
what I'm
to him.
saying. That's what I'm
He
thinking.
was nervous
it
about it.
must have brought out something. He was so nervous. We all know what that's like. You're nervous. You're shaking. You start sweating down the back of your neck, your forehead, all that stuff. And Jake Hager's just like us,
He's human.
Exactly.
But yeah, so he reads that lovely poem, and Sammy's like, we got all these gifts, but what do you really want, Chris? And Jericho says, I want Mike Tyson's ass on a platter because of 2010 on a Monday night. He turned on me. He turned traitor on me. And since that day, I've been dreaming of getting my hands on his fat head. And so of course, he's referencing a Monday Night Raw incident where during the guest host era, Mike Tyson was a host. And he teamed up with Jericho for a match against DX for the tag titles, which Tyson turned on Jericho and they lost. So that's the history, and Jericho's never forgotten it. So Sammy says, I can't get you his head on a platter, but I got you a cheese platter and a little bit of the bubbly. And he goes to lift open the tray, and but the cheese and the bubbly, it's gone. It's been consumed. So out comes Mike Tyson and his posse, and they got the bottles with them. So they ate it. So they go down, and he's got his group. Some of these guys were like former MMA fighters. You know some of these guys?
Well, yeah, Henry Cejudo was there. I believe he's the current
champ, isn't he? A two champ?
No, I think he's like a
Champ?
either lightweight or serious dude though.
Yeah, and then there's a couple other former fighters in there as well. And this weird dude with the face paint, I didn't know.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. It's a TR on the face paint. I was just like,
TR,
who the fuck
which
are
is-
you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, we get this big face off. Him and Jericho. Jericho cuts a promo on Tyson. Tyson calls Chris a sucker who deserves it. Chris wants an apology or he knock him out. And Tyson just rips his shirt off. He struggles a little bit ripping it. It wasn't a clean rip.
Clean rip. I don't think. Well, that's the thing. I don't think they pre-cut it. I think
It wasn't
he was
pre-cut
just
like Hogan.
going for it. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So he just rips his shirt, flexes in his face, and then shoves Chris, who shoves him back, and we get the big brawl as the locker room clears out to break it up. So it looks like in some form or another, we're going to get a Jericho versus
I think
Tyson.
we're getting Tyson Jericho. I think that's going to be.
So we're going to get
I
that.
think
We
that's
wanted
gonna be-
Tyson to hit someone. They were
I
saving
think that's
it.
going to be your
They were
all
saving
out. Well, that's what it is. It's that powerful right hand versus the powerful right elbow. It's going to be
boom.
fantastic.
Or could it be a cinematic, like a boxing match?
Who knows?
An actual boxing. Put on the gloves, get some goofy Rocky.
Put on the gloves, do something goofy. Well, of course, if that's the direction they're going, we will see an inner circle Rocky spoof. Where
There's
Chris
gonna be
Jericho's
weeks of
there's gonna be
training
weeks of montages. There's going to be like I picture Sammy Guevara is Adrian and
yeah.
one of them's got to be Mickey.
One of them's got to be
One's
Mick.
got to be Mickey.
Mick in the corner.
And that's the way we book it, I guess.
Yeah, no, that was fun though. Big angle. Tyson, he's still irrelevant. So
one thing I noticed on the show, and that closed out AEW. That brought us to our commercial. One thing I noticed on this week's show, more than other week's shows, or especially versus WWE, being in the Performance Center, is the branding on TNT, because they are a cable network company owned by. I did a little bit of they're owned by Warner Group Media, and Warner Group Media in itself owns all these sorts of things, including HBO Max, which was that main sponsor we saw on everything this week. It's like it's their streaming service. Mm-hmm. I like that. I think adding these sponsors makes it feel more sport oriented. I never sort of put in my mind before just watching AEW this week, where like WWE is on USA Network for their Monday Night Raw, but USA Network doesn't own WWE, so nothing else is advertised short of like Snickers for whatever sorts of things, or they have a little ad for Skittles, but they don't like USA isn't advertising other shit on their like within the program. I've just never kind of noticed that until today.
Sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, watch this on USA Network," but not that.
No, but I mean, like, well, what I was more getting at was this was TNT telling you to subscribe to HBO. This wasn't TNT telling you to subscribe to TNT. There's them saying, hey, subscribe to HBO because you don't know it, but we're owned by the same people. I feel like as though the WWE conflict of interest versus possibly something else, it does kind of remove that slight sport element, which is just something I've never picked up on.
You like being sold products.
I like putting things in the real world.
Sure.
It's kind of like stretching out that kayfabe, because kayfabe is Mike Tyson and Chris Jericho mad at each other, but it is also subscribe to HBO Max and watch all of Game of Thrones. It can be both of those things at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know. They're making money. That's what.
Of course. Well, hey, it's all going somewhere.
Why not? I'll take it.
HBO,
subscribe.
Yeah, HBO, subscribe to HBO Max. Of course, we've got the Snyder Cut of the Justice League come out in 2021, and everyone's going to want to be there when it happens. That was our show on TNT, not our show on HBO, as we might thought. But let's move over to a show that we're not going to have any other sponsors on this one, except maybe Snickers. We're going to move over to NXT.
NXT, what does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT, watch and see. Gotta tap out a count out of 1, 2, 3. So
where, of course, we were promised even before the show even started. We were promised this match between Matt Riddle and Damian Thatcher. Timothy Thatcher. I'll get there one day. But it came with it the extra surprise that Kurt Angle will be present as the special guest referee.
Oh yeah, we're getting a fight pit match.
I think a fight pit or pit fight.
Fight pit.
Fight pit.
But before that, we got some other things. Drake Maverick taking on Jake Atlas, taking on Kushida. Triple threat. Winner faces El Hijo de Fantasma in the Cruiserweight Tournament Finals. And this was just some good shit. Good, fast-paced triple threat. 3 men doing what they do best. Eventually, Kushida hits his big cross arm breaker off the top rope on Atlas. He's got it locked in, but then Drake crawls over, puts his arm across Atlas, and gets the 3 count. So the dream continues. Maverick's going to the finals.
He's going to the finals. His Instagram handle is still WWE Jake Maverick. So, I mean, until he changes that Instagram handle, hell, anything is possible.
Yeah, anything. Well, we'll find out next week when he goes for that belt.
When he goes for it. In a triple threat, right? No, that was the right. Just him versus. No, I couldn't remember if there was like a tie over on that other side of the bracket.
That was no. Yeah,
right.
No, that side's clean. So there's that. And then Johnny and Candice come out. Johnny says this is the start of the Gargano Invitational. So he's just gonna let people fight him. So Johnny takes on Adrian Alanis, and Johnny just makes quick work of him. Super kick, Gargano escape. There's your squash win. Mm-hmm. And then after on the screen, we get a parody of their dinners with Mia Yim and Keith Lee doing their little, just mocking them with the whole black and white thing. And then we get Shotzi Blackheart taking on Raquel Gonzalez. And, of course, Shotzi's looking great. She's in control. Dakota's on the outside, interfering. She saves Raquel. And then Dakota, the little shit, she gets in Shotzi's tank and starts messing with it. So Tegan Knox comes out, shoves her down. And then later in the match, Raquel and Dakota, they're on the floor when Shotzi just jumps off the rope and hits a crazy coffin drop where she over-rotates and basically lands on her head. No fucks given.
No
But
fucks.
she's insane. I love it. She's wild. She's alive, though. Tegan helps Shotzi back up. And then Candice LeRae comes out. She starts beefing with Tegan. So this distracts the ref. And then back in the ring, Dakota helps Raquel. They slam Shotzi down. Gets the cheap win. What a bitch. But what a bump by Shotzi, though. That's my big takeaway.
You know, and this was great for, two women we haven't seen do, like, their own thing in a little while. And, of course, we had the other two pop up there, to be their foils, because Dakota Kai and Tegan Knox will never end. And helping to elevate these other two women, because what started out this year, the year started out so strongly for this women's division. Now it seems a little bit odd, with Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair kind of occupying the main title picture, and now Gargano or Candice LeRae has been pulled away. Mia Yim has been pulled away. So we're kind of losing a couple women as we go. Of course, Shayna was called up. So
now could be a time, have the Iconics win those tag titles and then come to NXT. They can start, and then Shotzi and
yeah,
Tegan
exactly,
and
or
Raquel
just that,
and Dakota.
and something we've been saying for so long now, the strength of the NXT women's mid card, and now we can keep it going. Just let's throw a couple new people in there. Let's throw Gonzalez in there. Let's throw Shotzi in there. Let's keep it fresh, as we know.
Freshen it up, but we know what's going to happen for the next program, at least. Well, we're going to get part of that because Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai are teaming up to take on Charlotte and a mystery partner. And the mystery is Chelsea Green. And they actually worked really well together, this unit here. I liked it a lot. Chelsea and Charlotte. Probably Chelsea's best match so far.
Mm-hmm. I could say that.
But, yeah. Anyway, at one point, Io accidentally knocks Ripley off the apron. And then Charlotte rolls up Io, puts her feet on the ropes to get the cheap 3, get the win. So, but we already know we're getting that triple threat at TakeOver.
Which is when?
Sunday, June 7th.
So that's
a week
next
from
Sunday. Okay, so we still have some time to round out that card. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Yes, and then we go to William Regal and Adam Cole having a little FaceTime. Talking about the NXT title match at TakeOver. Adam Cole says he'll face Velveteen Dream, but if he beats him, the Dream can never get another title shot as long as Cole is champ. Regal agrees, but he says he will find a location that is special and worthy of the championship. So does that mean another cinematic match? I don't know. I was a little confused.
Neither did I. Sorry. I was also confused,
Yeah.
as I'm sure you
Yes.
were confused by my rebuttal to what you just.
Yeah, the confusion just mounts further.
Confusion mounts. Are we getting worked? This could be it. This could be the moment for Velveteen
This could be the time he
Dream
wins.
that we've been waiting for so long. I've been texting a little bit with AC Dirt, who tells me that Adam Cole is reaching the end of his WWE contract. No word on a re-signing. Does WWE want to re-sign him? I mean, I'm sure hell yeah. Are there other companies in the world who would love to re-sign him? Also hell yeah. So
Maybe one that his wife
maybe
works at or
one
something.
that his partner. I don't think they're
Partner.
I don't think
Fiancé.
they're. But yeah, I mean,
Common
yeah.
law.
Who the heck knows what could be happening with this belt? I really feel like this is Dream's time, though.
Yeah, he's been right there. We got crowds back a little bit, so we can have a little celebration.
Yeah.
We can get the pop.
Yeah.
The pop. Yeah, the Dream. It's your time, Dream. But let's go here. Tommaso Ciampa taking on Leon Ruff. Little quick squash match. Scarlett comes down to get in Ciampa's head, but he gets the easy win with the fairy tale ending. And then I think
Cross comes on with the Titantron and just like, hey, watch out. And because of course
I'm an alligator.
because of course that match is happening at in your house.
In your house.
In your
Yeah.
house.
But let's go to the main
Main event time.
Matt Riddle taking on Timothy Thatcher in a fight pit match, the first ever.
Fight pit.
So we got a steel cage structure around the ring, no ropes, no turnbuckles, an elevated platform up top. The only way to win is by knockout or submission.
Yeah, it was like you could tell they wanted to build it into the ground, but they're like, I don't think we can do that, so let's just build the ground up.
And the rules were also kind of like hybrid boxing and MMA because they had like a 10 count, like when you get knocked down,
you're down for
those are
10.
counted.
Yeah.
And yes, referee Kurt Angle's in there, so the match starts. We're going right at it. This was cool. I like the presentation of it. They start off, they're fighting like it's MMA. They're going for takedowns, doing strikes. At one point, Riddle just hits the big Showtime jumping kick off the wall of the cage into Thatcher, and then he starts spitting up blood and teeth after that.
Let's hope they were just chiclets.
I think it's just Chiclet. So Angle sends him to the corner to get checked on by the doc. Doc says he can fight, so we continue. And Thatcher just comes on strong in the second half. He's beating Riddle up. Riddle fights back. They both climb up to the top of the platform on top of the cage. They're slugging it out until Riddle hits a big ripcord knee, and Thatcher falls down a little gently off the top. And then Riddle follows up with the floating bro off the top of the cage. A good bump there. And so they go back and forth a bit more. Riddle gets tossed headfirst into the post on the cage, and then Thatcher just locks in a big sleeper hold. And Riddle tries his hardest to get out, but he just ends up passing out. And Thatcher has won. So huge win for him. And I was talking to AC Dirt as well. And rumor has it that Matt Riddle is getting the call up.
Oh, no.
To probably the SmackDown
This
brand.
was an incredibly strong main event. We've had a string of strong main events over here on NXT. They made this weird stipulation work. Kurt Angle's appearance certainly was not necessary. I'm sure it boosted a little bit of ratings. I would love it if. Well, one of two things. Either the NXT pit fight or fight pit, whatever we're calling it.
Bring it back at some point.
I would love it if maybe they can make this is somehow Thatcher's signature match. This is his place of similarly to the Punjabi prison was Buddy's match, or either this becomes involved with Thatcher far more, or this becomes a match like a settle all your problems between two people. It's like we're literally
like what the Hell in Cell used to be.
Exactly, we're throwing you into a fucking hole in the ground. I'm just saying, I'd love it if it was a hole in the ground and they're like fucking
with snakes in the bottom.
they chloroform you a couple hours before you wake up in the middle of the ring and everyone's just standing over top of you like, well, fucking kill each other, let's see what happens. Just great environments, the fans there, of course. Momentum, dude, fucking momentum.
Yeah. Thatcher, he's on the rise. He won a main event. He's looking good.
Yeah, looking great, actually, gotta say. But that was NXT. NXT ended strong.
Everything on the show had something.
Everything on the show had something. It was another great Wednesday Night War. Mike, let's just get right to it. Boom, we got a wrestler of the week.
It's the wrestler of the week. Wrestler of the week. Of the week. Of the week. The wrestler of the week. Of the week. Of the week. Wrestler of the week. Of the week. Of the week. The wrestler of the week.
Fuck, this was a tough one. This was a very tough one for me. It always is after pay-per-views, but or after, of course, after WWE pay-per-views. But I'm giving my wrestler of the week to the my 2019 Shooty winner, first star of the future, Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
Excellent.
Put in an incredible, not only put in an incredible match, really showing us what he will be in the future, and there is so much honor in defeat, and he did that.
Yeah, and then he turned around
and then he won
that
the next
Battle Royal,
day. So fucking there you go.
Yeah, so he's looking good. This was such a hard week. So many great matches. You know what? I'm just gonna go with Chris Jericho of the Inner Circle for his great performance. I mean, every single member of that Stadium Stampede match, along with the Jungle Boy MJF. But Jericho, that witch's hat, put him over the top.
As soon as he put on that fucking pylon, you were done.
It was
done.
over. It was over. That's my moment of the year.
Moment of the year.
Well, that and Becky Lynch's
announcements.
are the two. From one end to the other. One made me laugh, one made me cry. But yes, Chris Jericho, you deserve it.
Chris Jericho, Jungle Boy, you are the wrestlers of the week, and that is the podcast. That is the whole show. Fucking marathon of a show. We had so much to get.
Mega show.
We had so much to get through, folks. Don't remember to rate, review, like, subscribe, because the podcast is everywhere. And that's about all I got to say. Mike, any closing thoughts?
No, that's everything. So there's some rumors for SmackDown. Apparently, Drew Gulak's back. He's signed.
Oh, that's nice of him.
So we'll see. Yeah, Gulak's back. We'll see if Riddle shows up on
The
SmackDown.
Gulak is back, and can't wait. Ooh, Matt Riddle, Daniel Bryan. Oh my God, that would be a lot of fun.
Woo!
Folks, you take care of yourself. Mike, you take care of yourself. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Shoot.